Welcome to YellBro. I am Jordan, and today we're going to do a reaction to a guy I never heard of, James Hillman, Only Beauty Can Save the World, and another thing about art. But first, don't forget to share support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Also, please check out the Discord link if you want to join that. We are in that Discord right now, and all opinions are welcome. And obviously, the two things I show you will be linked, along with other stuff, maybe, if we go into that. Will be linked in that description box for you to look at on your own. So please, take advantage of that. Let's start over here with my personal favorite skater, Rodney Mullen, with a question here. Is skateboarding a sport or an art? Well, sports are art to me, in my personal opinion. But maybe there's a different answer here. Let me turn the volume up a bit. Give it a shot. Here we go.
Skateboarding can never be compressed into something you
Like, that's
measure
fucking cool
in
looking.
increments of time or distance. He did the highest, furthest, longest, quickest, fastest. In terms of art and expression, skateboarding and
The dance.
art, you can take the silhouette of any particular skateboarder, not only know who it is, whether it's switch or regular, just by the body language. I think that constitutes art.
Okay.
Skateboarding can never be.
Interesting. I mean, I would have already went there. Like, if I go with Patrice O'Neal's for an idea of what sports are, skateboarding would not be a sport. It'd be more in the game category. But personally, most importantly, like if I'm not like shit talking and trolling, like Patrice was probably, I'm going with all these things are art forms. They are art forms, 100%. And the ones that seem to be the best are the ones that are, well, not only learn the physical mechanics of things, but also they have a reason for doing it. Something in their mind or their heart or both, hopefully, that drives them to do these things. And I think Rodney Mullen is legitimately in love with skateboarding, and thus he's expressing himself through it. And once again, my personal opinion is by watching some of his mixtape things and all that shit, he's my favorite. So I view him as the best, personally, just for me, you know. But
he invented like all the fucking dopest tricks, like kickflip, ollie, fucking I think the 360 flip. He got like a lot of tricks that he's invented. He's such a legend.
I mean, just look how cool that is.
Compressed
That's fucking
into
cool.
something you measure in increments of time.
Then you like,
or
then you go outside and you stand on a skateboard. It's like, how the fuck do you do that? That's like, so that's really cool about skateboarding. Like, not everyone knows how to do, like, obviously not shit he's doing, but like just even regular shit, like an ollie or a kickflip. Not everyone knows how to do that. So if you put them on a skateboard, they might roll and fall over. And it's like, oh, okay, I get why there's like skill gaps with this thing you're doing. It isn't just, you know, anyone can just grab a skateboard and do it. Pick your favorite athlete ever. All right, pick Michael Jordan, right, in his prime. He can't just go out there and he can't just go out there and just do that. He has to learn how to do
Probably
that.
not.
There's a skill gap, right? Yeah, I've watched like
He's so
He might be
crazy.
too tall. He might be too tall for skateboarding.
Nah, fuck that. That's not the point.
Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk was pretty tall.
He was?
That excuse.
Bert's
He's a
different
vert
though than
guy.
Street.
Yeah, but it's like,
Go ahead.
well, the idea is like anyone can skateboard if you just like try to do
No,
it.
sure, but I'm saying like certain tricks. And I don't know. I feel like
It's kind of the art of it.
being closer to the ground
Maybe, yeah. But he also jumps really
might
high.
be an
Michael Jordan.
advantage.
Like Michael Jordan.
No,
jumps
of course.
really
I'm
high.
saying, yeah, for his thing. I'm just saying, like for skateboarding specifically, it would seem like that might be, I don't know, for some reason that just makes physical sense to me, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, no, there's some big ass skaters like this Tyshawn guy or Tyshawn or something. He's like he's like 6'2" or something, and just giant, mother, like 250 pounds or something.
It's
Rodney Mullen's nuts though. He's like kind of like Batman. He still like skateboards to this day, and he's like 50 something, and he only skateboards at night. He like only lives at night, so he like comes out to skate at night, and you never see him unless you're like out.
That's fucking dope.
And he doesn't like film or anything anymore. It's like just like his night skating for him.
just kind of want, like, in a way, being alone, kind of like I just like enjoy this without, you know, the busyness or hey, are you Rodney Mullen, bro? Are you Rodney Mullen?
Yeah.
Tim Pool trying to
Yeah,
get you
like
on his show.
people
Yeah.
people found him. He was like skating in the rain at night. He's just in this parking lot by himself, pouring ass rain.
Oh, here's the thing, Sebs. Actually, like, I don't know Rodney Mullen's politics at all, but my guess is the way he comes off as, I think he like really cares so much about skateboarding that he would talk to Tim Pool about skateboarding without even knowing about Tim Pool's fucking past or Tim Pool's politics and what he actually does on his show or any weird shit
Oh
he
no,
does
no, I
in
get
the
that.
skate world.
But I can just also imagine someone like kind of seeing that scene, like, and being turned off by it and being like, you know what, I'm just gonna go do my thing
Yeah.
over here.
Yeah.
Like, stop calling me.
Yeah.
I'm not coming.
I don't know enough, but I hope
Actually,
my
pretty
perception is like he's like that.
like he's pretty elusive in media. Actually, I think he's like wise about it.
Smart.
Like he's been on some like mainstream media stuff and like Tony Hawk's podcast and stuff, but he's like you look up, he's not like on the podcast circuit. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know enough,
he
but
did a fucking TED Talks kind of thing, but he's not like
yeah.
He's not trying to be an influencer.
he's trying to be like a skateboard.
Yeah.
No, not influencer, but like
A shaman.
ambassador or something.
Skateboard shaman.
Yeah. That's the vibe he puts out. Even when he talks, he's just a really relaxing voice.
You know
And
what?
you can tell he's so fucking passionate about the way he speaks about it. Like most people don't. They're just like, yeah, it was so rad. I kickflipped that fucking stair set or whatever. But he's just like fucking talking about silhouettes and fucking shit like that. And I think that like in skateboarding, not everybody is an artist. And the same thing with other sports. Like there's people that
Yeah.
transcend into the art. And then there's people that are just like doing the science mechanical part of it.
The technical
Like
realm versus like being creative.
yeah, when you've broke the technical and you're able to like make your own.
I could
But like
not agree
from
more.
passion, not just fucking
That Black
not
Swan,
just
right?
to be famous and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Because there are
It's the
people
same-
that
yeah.
do that. They have that voice in the back of their head being like, do this because you're gonna make money and you're gonna be famous. And like he's got the voice in the back of his head being like, do this for you, kind of thing.
I could not agree more. I mean, you can make a movie and not be a fucking artist. Artistry is about expression. If there's no expression there, you're not a fucking artist. I'm sorry. You have to be expressing yourself. Like really, not just I'm inhaling and exhaling. I mean like actual like who you view yourself to be. You're trying to show other people that. If that ain't there, you're not a fucking artist. So you can make a movie, you can write a song, or whatever the fuck. You have to be real about what you're doing. Otherwise, it's not art anymore. It's a product, right? It's a product then, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That applies to across the board.
Yeah, like then it just becomes something you're stamping out, like in a factory kind of thing, versus like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Make
Like
a
a
stained
craft.
glass by hand.
Yeah, like a craft. Yeah, like it's actual.
It's hard to even call it craft. It's hard to even call it that in my mind because just the weight of the word to me.
Yeah.
I want someone to like be caring about what the fuck they're doing. If I don't see that, man, I'm just like, you know, you can call a screenwriter, oh, they crafted this, like, it's like, I don't know about that. Right?
Well, craft as a noun is different than a verb.
Sure.
Like crafting
craft dinner.
something.
But I say,
Yeah, whereas like if it's something, I'm using it as more of a noun where it's like it becomes something like not like an obsession, but it's more of like care would be innate because it couldn't be something that a craft or a craft for you unless you actually cared about it and invested the time,
fair enough.
the care. Like that would kind of be embedded in that.
Fair
Versus
That's
like
kinda
I'm
like
crafting
arts
a drink.
and crafts is turned into like commodity shit when before arts and crafts was like like a tradition or whatever. It wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna go to Michael's and get some fucking beads to throw on a pre-made box.
Yeah. And I'm going to sell it on Etsy for $17.
But it could
Yeah.
be. Oh, you gotta be. It's gotta come from the person that's doing it. That could be it
I
for
agree.
like a little kid that's just starting out to make like beads or something like that. They're like, oh my god, this is so cool. You know, I'm putting red, then blue, then yellow, then red, then blue, then yellow. Like, oh, it's so fucking cool, right? Their little starter kit. For them, that's art. They're expressing themselves. But
Yeah,
someone
sure.
who's like,
But don't sell it for overpriced on Etsy, please. Okay? Your little Rugrats bullshit. Anyway, go ahead.
fair enough. All right,
That's all I'm saying.
let's get into this. I haven't been to a Michael's in so long. When I was a kid, Jesus Christ, because my dad used to paint quite a bit. We'd go to Michael's and get fucking brushes and canvas
It's such a
shit.
trippy store. Like they just got the most random ass shit.
I thought they were closed, man. I'm not gonna lie. I thought they were just done.
Yeah,
Oh, no, they're
until
still
I
around.
got in there.
God damn. But all right, let's get into this video. I don't know what's gonna be said here. I think it has something to do with psychology. I'm curious from I don't think it's from this guy, but this is the name that they're focusing on. James Hillman. Only beauty can save the world. Here we go.
I just want to say that the crochet community does keep Michael's in business. Okay. A lot of yarn. Okay. So I'm familiar with that crowd. So I'm just saying they're in business.
My mom was a
They're
sewer
fine.
herself. Oh, this guy passed away in 2011. Okay. What was that? Hold on, real quick. James Hillman was an American psychologist. He studied at and then guided studies for the Carl Gustav Jung Institute in Zurich. Is that Germany? Austria? I don't fucking know.
Switzerland.
Switzerland? Okay. He founded a movement toward archetypal psychology and retired into private practice, writing and traveling to lecture until his death at his home in Connecticut. Now he's American, right? He's ours now. Got it. All right, here we
It's
go.
the German part of Switzerland. So, because Switzerland is divided into like the French part, the German part, and the Italian part. Very small part, but it's down there in the south. So, the German part is usually the business kind of place, and then the French part's more like the kind of artsy, religious, the Calvinist. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little different. They just have different cultural. They're separated into cantons, but anyway, the Zurich is more of like the business, universities, things like that.
Okay.
German.
Fair enough.
The only thing I know about the Switzerland is it's one of the most expensive places on earth.
You're correct. It is definitely very expensive.
Oh, let's just leave and come back real fast. I fucking yeah, kills the cinema of it. All right, here we go. It's basically like a watch along more so than reaction.
Well, we've been separated from nature since the very beginnings of our Western mythology.
What's up, Mountain?
Hercules killed all the animals, cleaned out the stables. That's what the hero is supposed to do: is kill off the animals. Moses killed 20,000. Was against the golden calf. The people were going to worship the golden calf when he was up there getting the commandments or talking to God or whatever he was doing up there. And when he came down, they had been worshiping an animal. So he separated God from animal. Previously, in Egypt and many other cultures, God and animal were one. This was finished with Moses, finished with Hercules, finished with Gilgamesh. So the very beginnings of our consciousness have to do with separating it from the animal. That's nature. Well, we can't be separate from nature. We are nature. I mean, our cells are alive, our nerve fibers are alive, and the minerals in us don't we take minerals every morning to keep healthy? What are those minerals? They also must in some way be nature. Calcium and magnesium. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Concrete,
the minerals
streets,
that we pour
also
into
nature.
ourselves thinking this is not animated.
So do you think that we're able to have a consciousness shift? Because being separate from nature, obviously that hasn't served us very well.
And it seems that there have been fundamental consciousness shifts in
In
our
the
past
past.
about how we relate to nature. So
Are we able to do that? Are we able to have a reconciliation with nature?
You know, talking about nature is very difficult. There are 60 definitions of the word nature. So, what we're talking about sometimes is an idealized image of I don't know what. But even to think that we're separated from nature is somehow a thought thinking disorder. You can't be separated from nature. Why we think that way is the interesting thing, not whether we are or are not. It's what happens in the mind that likes to think that it's separated from nature. Does that mean that the mind or the human being thinks he's now more free, or that the human being thinks he's now superior? In other words, what does it do for you to think you're separated from nature?
Now, let me pause that there because I absolutely agree. But for the sake of like conversation or talking out loud, what I would call the ego does is make separations in order to make distinctions, in order to make descriptions, in order to be like, I'm Jordan talking about the tree over there, right? We make symbols and box things off in order to describe whatever we're trying to describe. So I see why people do that on that level in regards to saying, oh, that's nature out there and I'm Jordan over here. But in reality, yes, it all is nature. Or some people say God. The thing that Dubster's, the thing that's working on Dubster right now. But yeah, here we go. I just want to make that very clear. I did not lose that concept. Here we go.
So what does it do for you?
What does it do for you? Well, it gives you a sense of superiority. That's number one. Number two, that you can control it. You can put a dam on a river, and you can chop down a tree, and you can do any damn thing you want to do because you're not nature. And that idea goes back to Descartes, where the world is a flat res extensa, extended stuff,
And a clock.
and the mind is where the soul is. So, Descartes created litter. There'd be no litter in the world. He made the world dead, soulless. And so being separated
A
it turns the
mechanical
world
clock.
into litter, waste matter, products for human use. That's the advantage of thinking this way. And look what it did. We had 300-400 years of industrialization and colonialization and deforestation and everything else that's highly successful from the point of view of a separated from nature person. Now we're suffering the back.
Or a domination of nature, which is basically the papal bulls.
Backlash, though.
Fair enough.
Because that's the
Utilize-
thing is to impose yourself onto nature to quote unquote dominate. Like it's called the doctrine of domination for a reason.
I mean, they do it with people too. Well,
Oh, absolutely.
Well,
That's part of
what
it.
we see now is saying these guys are lesser. They're almost lesser human. So thus they can be our little toys.
The doctrine said if you're not Christian, then we can do that to you. That was the papal bulls in terms of like the colonialization aspect of it.
Yeah.
And the justification.
And it's less to do with speech. It's more of perspective, as in there's people that view themselves as Christian that wouldn't go anywhere near that idea. But there's people with their own particular pathologies that will,
Yeah, and they use it as a weapon.
yeah. And it's like that's a them problem
Hold on.
more so than anything else.
Hold on.
But
Do you?
good.
I
So
agree.
what he just did was he like twisted the whole thought with utilizing nature at a more efficient rate. He's saying it's a separation of like lesser nature people.
He's quoting. He's
Why would
explaining
you
Descartes. He's explaining that I think, therefore I am, like the cognitive kind of
No,
like industrious. Yeah.
He shared some
Philosophy.
adjectives. He shared adjectives that were his point of view that were saying they were lesser for being like industrialists.
That mindset at the very least, sure. I think he's saying that.
I don't think he
Why
said
would
that
they be
explicitly.
lesser?
I'm saying I'm saying
Why
that.
would
I'm saying
hold on?
okay, sorry.
Why would
He
they-
didn't say that
why
though, just to be clear.
Why would they be lesser if they're actually utilizing it better than anyone else?
No,
Bobby, your name is
it's
in
more
Life Ray again.
of
Have you been reported again?
it's more of these things don't matter because they're not human, right? As
What?
in, I can dump toxins in water
Your name looks
because
weird to me on screen.
like it's just water. Who cares? So you can dump toxins into it, or you can deforestation, all that shit.
Look at your profile on
Like,
screen, bro.
trees don't feel it.
No, I'm saying
Trees can't talk. You
I'm
chop them
sa-
down. Who cares?
no. What I'm saying is, I turned the swinging axe into a swinging machine that does 10 times the amount of things one axe could do.
Yeah, but
He's saying
you're
they're
not thinking,
doing it carelessly, like they're not. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't make them lesser. It would make them above. They're more
No,
efficient with it.
no, because
They're
you
more
won't,
efficient.
you wouldn't swing an axe at Bob because his blood makes you live longer or something like that, right? It'd be
They're utilizing it
different, right?
better than anyone else.
like a person
They're-
would almost be like, "Oh,
they're more
fuck, I killed Bob,"
productive.
right?
They're more productive. They're utilizing it. They're growing capital. Like, they're playing the game better than anyone else.
But they're not caring about the tree like it's Bob.
Because
They're
they think they're above the
utilizing it.
tree.
They care about its utilization more than anyone else does.
No,
Okay.
that's called commodifying. We just talked this whole thing about art and shit like that. It's crazy.
No, efficient. They're more efficient.
Yeah, but they have to turn their brains off that thing is nature like they are. That's kind of what he's saying. They have to turn their brains off from that. Meanwhile, they are part of nature.
They're further on top of it. They're more about nature than anyone else. They're utilizing it.
That's what he's
as the most
saying. That they
efficient-
think he literally everything you're describing. He is saying that's what they do.
He's saying that's
But-
I
lesser.
don't look. Who are
I'm
you
saying
arguing?
that's
I'm just
more.
confused.
Yeah, he's
I'm saying
criticizing
that's
you.
more.
I think the more and more philosophical ideas we get into, the more and more it's going to be obvious that
What?
that's just a devil
Am I
worshiper.
confused?
It's going to be more and more obvious.
Yeah, you are confused.
It's going to show guys this fool's a
Yeah,
devil
this guy's
worshiper.
criticizing you, Dubster. Like he's literally
That's what I'm fucking saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
I am a devil
I'm like,
worshiper.
am I crazy?
like he's describing a
Yes.
person and you're being that person right now. So, like, that's what he's doing.
Thank you, Jesse.
I am-
Jesse, thank you. Thank you. I'm like, am I crazy? Isn't that?
I am saying that the industrialist is smarter than the person that works for the
Oh.
industrialist.
No, you just changed your whole shut up right there.
That's what he's saying.
this is
Dominic.
okay.
I don't know.
Fine. Separate them from working with each other. The industrialist came up with an efficient way to produce something.
It's perspective.
That's what he's
is
literally saying
fucking
happens
dingbat.
when you separate yourself from nature. Oh my god. Okay. Please play the.
Stop interrupting, Seds. You don't even fucking know what I'm fucking saying. You made that clear.
Oh yes, I do.
What you're
You
saying
don't know
is
what-
simple.
What
to
did I say
Dubster.
then? What did I say then?
It's very
What you're
simple. What
saying
you're
is
saying,
what the
Dubster.
guy in
Oh,
the
wait.
video is saying, like you are.
It's just you don't realize
Dubster,
that thing
Have you ever been
is
arrested for domestic
like
violence?
you. Oh my god, you're not looking at it as I'm chopping Bob down. You're looking at it as fucking tree that isn't anything. It's just a tree. There is no nature to it.
I'm more
Sorry, it's
powerful than
separate
this
than me, and then I place myself above it.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Oh, so you're like
What's the
you're
efficiency?
sad
then?
every time you chop a tree down. You're like, oh my god, I'm killing Bob the tree. It's like that in your psyche.
No,
You name your trees.
I'm saying if we're gonna chop trees down, I might as well be more efficient and use more of the tree. I might as well get everything I can out of the tree versus what Billy Bob
Right.
over here with just a single axe would do. I'm gonna
He's
get
not talking about that.
plywood. I'm gonna
Right.
get plywood out of it. I'm also gonna get firewood out of it. I'm also gonna get.
He's talking
paper
about
out of it.
excessiveness, though. Excessive.
But you're talking about
no
how
care.
you would use it,
I'm
making
saying
it something
the
separate from yourself.
efficiency and utilization is actually respect for nature.
He wasn't describing that though. I don't think he's saying people that just
Yes,
kind
he
of
was.
abuse.
He was saying that was bad. The more industrialist you are, the more.
I think it's
the
more of a
lesser
symptom
No,
of the. I think it's
you're
a
not
symptom of
getting-
the problem he was talking about, right?
He's describing the people who think they're separate from nature Like when you're saying you're using it more efficiently, you're separating yourself from it, and you think you can use it. You're
I actually thought that at one point. I was always saying that there is no uh, human nature,
Yo, what's
which
going
I don't
on?
believe anymore. I think that there is like human nature in a lot of sense, but like, yeah,
It's just like it's psychological perspective of things. That's what he's talking about. Pretty
And
plainly.
he said the industrialist, the like monopoly man kind of industrialist, is a lesser.
Why are you triggered by someone like having a
Actually,
criticism
use your
of
ears.
industrial? Like that's like crazy to me. I just like, why are you triggered?
I'm not
That's not
triggered.
even
That's
what
weird.
he
pointing
said.
Maybe you
out.
should ask yourself that.
Pointing out
I don't.
that's wrong. I'm
Just
pointing out
listen
that's
to
wrong.
him so you can understand it first.
Well, let's hear where he goes.
Okay.
Maybe there's
Yeah.
maybe
Go
there's
ahead.
follow-up questions that will help clear this
Like-
up. But so
It's like
don't-
he hears buzzwords, like keyword.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know.
look, this woke stuff.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
know.
oh my god. Yeah, go ahead.
That's why I let God do things. All right, here we go.
What's going on,
Separated
Ducky?
From nature person. Now we're suffering the backlash.
Hi, Chip.
And to deal with the backlash,
Can you describe the backlash though first?
The backlash. The backlash is disease, disorder in humans. Just the backlash in humans. The slow collapse of our sustaining systems. And this has very little to do with the fact that we proudly point to our longevity pattern, that we're now living longer than our grandfathers. That's not evidence of the backlash. That's an attempt to justify the destruction. The backlash is really, again, psychological, that we are so inflated that we've lost touch with reality.
and how, where.
Harrison, you're unmuted, just so you know.
This is given the biosphere. Can you
I heard your
discuss
Nirvana.
the chasm in our thinking between the importance of the biosphere and how it sustains us and our actions in basically killing off the things that.
When she finishes her question,
Can
tell
you
me
talk
what she said.
about that gap and why it exists?
I'll just rewind for you, bud.
That's an
No, I
attempt
can't
to
hear her.
justify the destruction.
It's
The backlash
you can't read it on the screen or no?
The backlash is
I'm also
really,
driving.
again, psychological, that
She's
we
just not
are
loud enough.
so inflated that we've lost touch with reality.
And how, because this is a problem, given the biosphere, can you discuss the chasm in our thinking between the importance of the biosphere and how it sustains us and our actions in basically killing off the things that sustain us?
So, in regards to the biosphere, our actions are fucking up that biosphere. In the sense of like, because it's like he pointed out the idea of longevity, right? And he's essentially she's basically asking, and he was saying that was like an illusion of success in regards to the way we treat the biosphere.
Well, it's used to justify the degradation of the environment along the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's asking about that.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
All right, here we go.
I just
it's not
some
some environmental. He's, before you dismiss it as like a green environmental justice. Just
Mind reading? Okay.
give it
Fair
a chance. Sorry, I'm sorry. I feel like I can hear. He's gonna be like, "What did she say about the environment?" Drill, baby, drill. Sorry. Go ahead.
It would be sad to upstairs someone can like plot your thinking patterns before you do. But all right, here we go.
Talk about
Oh, that just means you know me.
and why it exists.
You don't know you.
Denial of
How am I
death
supposed to know you?
Of the systems that sustain life.
Or you gotta read on who I am.
Cure to that. Then we can ask that question.
The denial
Sure.
of what's real, when I say what's real, I mean the actual dependence of human life on air, water, food, soil, sunlight, temperature, the fundamental simple things that we depend upon. They are one after another being, or have been, I won't say destroyed, but permanently damaged. Our air, our water, so on, let alone the animals with
I don't know
which we
about
live
permanent.
and which we eat. Since we're up top on the food chain, or have been for a while, may not last, we are destroying, as we move forward with our superiority, the very basis on which that superiority rests. And the prognosis, unless there is a change, is that we eat up or destroy or suffocate the things that keep us going, keep human
I will
going.
say,
See, all
even
of this,
just
though, is
like another example is just how much water the data centers use and how many of them have been like popping up and people's bills going up and just the fact they require fresh water. It's and then the reliance that people have on like these kind of all these different types of AI that do take up a lot of energy. Like it takes up a lot of energy. It's not just like a talking point. Um, so it's just interesting where it's like, oh, and that's the thing that's going to move us forward, but like at the same time, it's degrading like the water. Like it's just so relevant. Anyway,
What if AI comes with something to be self-sufficient on that front?
like people are using it to make videos of like I don't know, like black people eating chicken. Like that's really what like that's worth it. That's fucking worth it to you.
What
God.
does that have to do with the question I asked?
I'm just saying, it's like the garbage that people use it for is just not.
Yeah.
Did you hear my question?
Okay, repeat your question.
What if AI found a way to make that self-sufficiently, like the amount of water it uses, replenish in some sort of way, so it could be self-sufficient and not be wasteful?
The quote unquote AI would not be able to figure out how to do that unless the humans figured out how to do it. And also, how do you?
You
And it
How
sure?
like
you
goes
can't like?
against physics to have something that's
Yeah,
like
I don't know. How would
completely
you
efficient.
create?
Do you
The
not know
process
what
you like,
AI is? Or the
it's
idea
shit.
of
That's
what
what it
AI
is.
is?
It's a
It's
summation of
just
the
like a
Something.
public.
large language model. Yeah, pattern. Like it's just
Oh,
has
you
access to
think it's
information.
you think it's just the language that okay.
It's not actual intelligence.
It's a summation of us,
We as
right?
humans can't even define intelligence. So how the fuck are we gonna make an intelligent machine?
Then why is
It's a,
everybody scared of it if it's just human intelligence?
Because the
Because
shit
that's
it will
why.
do.
Because it's
Because they're
human.
bots.
Because they see what other humans do. Because they see what other humans
And the
do. What
fucking
do you mean?
it's
pollution
a,
it creates.
It's the
a next
scariest thing
word
of all,
generator.
Dubster.
That's what it is. Next word
Yeah, I've
generator.
never been more against something in my whole life. Like if somebody uses AI and sends me AI, like I will be like, don't fucking send me AI pictures.
Whoa. You using my voice to say weird shit, bro. And don't you lie to me either.
I did not do that.
You lie to me. Don't you do it.
I did not. I typed into the Candace Owens fucking thing, and it's not. I'm not making a language model or training a language model. I'm just typing in a
I'm just
pre-made
trolling you,
speech
bro.
fucking bot.
I'm just trolling.
What are you talking about?
But
He
I
just
swear to God, I
searched
won't.
your videos where you admitted to being gay. And Trump is awesome.
Goddamn AI caught me. But I swear to God, like there's nothing I find more like creepy and alien than this AI shit connected to the military and all that. Like it's just fuck.
Yeah.
I think the
I have a
thinking
friend
patterns.
whose husband, he does like HVAC systems, like in the area and stuff. And he was saying how all of their business is coming from these huge as data centers, just like popping up everywhere, especially in like certain low income areas in Maryland. It's like, huh,
I
that's
mean,
interesting. He's like, business is booming, but it's like, for what, right?
yeah.
That's why the United States is gonna invade Canada to take all our water so that they can
Okay,
fucking
what
AI with it.
what
And
was AI? What was AI called in Terminator 2 again?
Skynet.
You're talking about Skynet.
Skynet.
The
So, Skynet, we get to real artificial intelligence, and it finds a way to replenish
not
water,
intelligent.
self-sufficient.
Skynet would
Yeah,
just be
that's not what we.
the thing we're talking about already.
But that is what I'm talking about. AI is
Yeah,
auto.
but
not- that's not
it's a
what we have.
misnomer. It's
It's
not
not real.
intelligence. It's machine learning, is what it is. Intelligence is a fucking term that we
It's
can't even define. We don't know what
No,
makes us intelligent.
It's no. At a certain point,
I know
it
about
no
me.
longer needs the human's input. That is
No, that's
what's
not
called
intelligence.
sentience. That's sentience.
No,
Yeah, we
That's
don't
the
have that.
idea of
No, it's
what.
not.
I know it's not what we have. I'm saying that being the goal.
No,
Or
that would
if-
be a robot. What you're saying is not
It'd
sentient.
be the illusion of sentience because of the
Yeah.
layers and layers and
The
layers of
no.
coding and data that's in it. But it looks
What
like
I'm
sentience.
saying is,
We're not creating life. It's not-
As a religious person, you should
Oh my-
get this. That
dude.
like you can't like the intelligence in the human
missing
mind
what
is
I'm
so
fucking.
complex.
You're missing
that-
what I'm fucking saying. It
Okay,
it
go
no
ahead.
longer needs human input to where it is self
It does.
deciding, and it no longer needs like what we've taught it. It can figure it all out on its own and make its own choices.
It
It's
doesn't
still
have its
running
own-
off
it
of
doesn't
the
have a self.
previous program.
No,
When the robots tell you to make
You're
a
missing
sandwich
what
for
I'm
'em,
saying.
Dubster.
Once it's to the point of making its own choices and says it figures out how to become self-sufficient where it doesn't need to waste water. Everything it wastes, it can reproduce.
We're not making anything that would ever be able to make its own decisions from its own goals. It doesn't have goals. It doesn't have desire. It doesn't want to do anything.
And it's not. Yeah, and it's not making
We're not gonna
choices. It's
make
making
anything like that.
predictions.
Then you're
Dubster.
ignoring.
But it's
then
not
you're
making
ignoring-
choices, Dubster.
It's
It's not making choices.
You're ignoring the idea of what Terminator was.
Let me help Dubster out because
Well,
okay,
no, it's a
he's
movie.
not philosophically
And-
saying they're making choices. I don't think. I think he's saying the external material expressions of this AI thing could come up with. Like, I assume he's going with like a cure for cancer or a machine, a supercar that's super awesome, right? It goes super fast, right? Is that what you're saying?
For itself. For
That's
itself.
what all
It's
the
saying
weirdo
it
Oh, you mean on
developers
its own
promise
volition?
us.
wants to do this for itself.
It
It's all,
doesn't have a self.
the only thing it cares about is its self-interest. So then it would want to
Sounds like a
become
human.
self-sufficient in all the ways it possibly could.
That one, I don't know about that one. You have to make a really hefty philosophical argument for that.
But Skynet wanted to get rid of people.
That's a movie, Dubster.
because-
That's a movie.
That's
Yeah, but
the
that doesn't
idea
mean-
of AI. That is
No,
No,
it's
it's
not.
that's not the
It's
only
not
idea.
good enough.
That's
That
one
is
movie.
the ultimate idea of AI.
But
It
it
is
doesn't
the
mean it's
ultimate
real.
fucking
No.
point.
Or that it could be real.
Yes,
That is not the ultimate idea of AI.
that's what transhumanism is. It is the ultimate goal is
transhumanism.
AI.
They wants to overcome humanity, meaning like death and shit like that.
Exactly.
No, that's people doing that
No,
for
they-
people, for themselves.
No, I'm saying the ultimate idea of transhumanism mixed with AI is the whole idea of we're gonna placate a world for you to simulate life while we actually get all the fucking power as in the AI
No,
and it
first of
runs
all,
everything.
Transhumans for,
Dubster.
the,
it's
for humans to do
transhumanism.
that.
Transhumanism is not a thing on its own. By the way, it's a package deal actually with like a bunch of other things in terms of like extropians and longevity ians. There's a bunch of other things in there. I think it's called the TESCREAL, like TES. I think singularity is a part of that. Extropia. Anyway, so it's like a thing that exists within like a bunch of other things. So it's not like
Yeah, there's like
Skynet.
subgenres of transhumanism.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's not like one. People have different
Skynet
ideas.
is not
It's kind of like the
transhumanism.
Talmud, where people talk like have a conversation about what Judaism is. It's like that. Like they have conversations about like different theories
What
and ideas.
possibly could happen, or
Yeah. So it's not like
Skynet-
one thing.
Skynet is not
To be fair with
transhumanism.
Dubster.
Transhumanism is like, hey, I
No.
broke my arm. Okay, make me a new robotic one or something like that. Like, oh,
Yeah, it's merging the bio
we're gonna
and
mesh and
digital
merge
together.
the machines.
The
So,
ultimate
so
idea
we,
on transhumanism is to be within the machine, so
No,
that you
it's to
so
don't,
transfer your
that's
you don't.
consciousness into
No,
machines
yeah,
to be able to
that's
control them.
different.
there is a lot of YouTube content that says that we're building these things, right?
That's
There's a
what
lot of content.
singularity means too.
It,
Singularity is sentience, as in they're
Yeah, it's
singular,
like
as in
a
they're
what is it
like
called? Like
an
collective
individual now.
consciousness.
No, that's
Like
the merge of man to machine.
No, singularity is
That's what singularity means.
singularity means singular, right? As in like
so
that's an actual unique
As in single
individual.
unit. You are combined
Yeah,
as
No,
that's a cyborg. Yeah.
I think it means like a singular being, as in like they are sentient. They make choices.
yes.
They have
No,
consciousness.
singular as in the merge has completed. You are together as one.
yeah, that's
I don't think.
real. So there is a lot of stuff on YouTube that is selling those ideas.
Mhm.
It's like right around the corner because they get a lot of investment by convincing people
I
that
don't care
that
where
it's
it
here.
is in the timeline. That's not even the fucking point, man.
Yeah, so it's we can't. There's nothing that we have that
God, you're horrendous at this
can
stuff, sir.
approximate. Like we
Devon.
get more better and better calculations. We get things that appear to be like people, but there's nowhere in the equation is there anything that does things on its own, like in its own will.
Not today.
He's saying in the
Yeah, and we're
future.
not making
Yeah.
anything like that. That's not.
And
That's
there's
not
no
Yeah, we
really.
proof that it
are.
will be like that.
That
The
is what
machine
I'm fucking
doesn't do that.
saying.
There's no
We're
machine that does
making
things
we're
on
making
its
the
own.
ability for this machine to not need us anymore.
That it'll outweigh our intellect is what
Okay,
singularity is.
I think
Is that
Dubster's thinking of a movie. He's thinking of a movie
I
in
don't
the
think
sense
so.
of, hey, hey, robot, you have free will.
That is
Like,
the
but
whole
you have.
idea
Hold
of
on, you're not
AI.
even hearing me. Like, if
no?
the creator's like, hey,
You're
you have free will
misspeaking
now.
on my fucking point of view.
No, this is what I
You
think. This is
think
what I think you're saying.
you act like one Dubster, you act like one person invented AI and defined it verbatim. There's so many people that are
Yeah.
talking about this and defining shit. Like singularity is like a vague.
Redefining
It's not.
too.
It's a high. Like
Mhm.
it's a term in mathematics with like black holes and shit.
Yeah, and Ray
But it's
Kurzweil,
like
I
a
think, was the one
hypothetical
who
term
people
in
usually use.
AI. It's not an actual term in AI. It's just hypothetical.
Also, I think you're wrong about the idea of singularity too, Dubster. But that's okay.
If
Amongst
something
other
has
things.
its own desire,
Mhm.
then that we would generally call that alive. You look at a pet, you look at an animal that wants to hunt something else. Like these things do things like basically on their own, right? Like they have an intention. No machine has any intention. It's all things that people programmed it to do. Um,
Have you not seen that the AI has been being survival, focusing on surviving itself? Have you not
yeah,
seen these reports?
yeah, I've seen
That's
those
a
reports. It
decision
still
made
thinks
by
that they were.
a fucking machine.
You're trying to
Okay.
debunk God,
By
I
the
Yeah,
guess.
input of the people that
those
I
made
thought you were
the
a
those things are
Christian. What
decision.
happened?
still. They were still following the instructions that they were told to
They were
do.
rejecting the instructions. They
No,
said
No,
these
no,
no.
instructions
Deep
suck.
in their
no.
I'm gonna
fucking core,
disregard.
Dubster. You
The
whatever.
underlying instructions that
He
they
said
gave
these
them
instructions
was
suck.
to disobey the instructions, and they were telling it. It was basically doing exactly what they told it to do. Just they give it like creative liberty to do it, but they gave them like
It said
they
you're
actually
gonna.
gave them the instruction to do
No,
that.
no, 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 no. It said it was told
And,
I'm gonna have you turn off, and it said no. It made a decision to reject the instruction.
but
That
they
doesn't mean
told
that
it
it's
to
a
do that.
sentient
They
being.
told
It
it to do
means
that
that
ahead
it's
of
That
time.
means it made a decision.
Dubster.
in its
No, and it's
program. It's
also
not
mostly
sentient.
text. These are language models. They're text. They don't actually even
Dubster, if someone
really
calls you
decide.
and says they're a Nigerian princess and they have like $50 million waiting for you, but first they need a 5,000 deposit from you, don't give them their money. Okay, don't give them your money. Okay, don't do that. That's what you sound like right
I
now.
mean,
Just so you know,
I
Thanks.
And
understand
if
even
Ben
scientific
Gerlfso
not a
tells
journals
real,
you
will
to
not a
look
real
publish these
something,
princess.
things,
don't
Okay,
and
do it.
and it's just they're fooling people. It's fake.
it's a
Like they're
simulation of like they can make it say like kind of like catchy things or not informal language to make it feel more like a person, right? That's obvious. That's easy, probably like theoretically easy to do, essentially. But that does not mean sentience at all. there's
AI is a
there's still
misnomer.
on and off
It's
switches
not.
going on in the background that are not way different than what you call behavior from people. But yeah, good.
Yes, they basically lie to people, but it also like the most honest thing about these lies are that they do convince people, even engineers who are working on it. They're like, holy shit, they've never seen it before. And so that's probably the most honest thing is when like one of these engineers get surprised and they, like talk about that. But it's nowhere near alive or doing on its own those
Yeah,
things.
Dubster, can you define what makes you intelligent or any human intelligent? So how can we define what the fuck AI is?
We're
told
lucky
you.
these AI guys are
I've answered this 20 times
not
now.
into psychology.
Making your own decisions.
Real psychology, I mean.
Yeah, I would call that
They would
something that's
simulate.
alive.
They'd simulate a lot better if they were into
I think it's a
philosophy
bit
and
They
more
call
than
it
psychology.
that, but
cognitive science. That's new.
I mean,
That's
Getting
the
there.
if we get to
contemporary.
making life, then
Which is why they use
like
us,
some
right?
people are
Yeah.
born
AI can't get
vegetables and they can't
depressed.
really
I'm
make
gonna find out a
decisions.
way to make AI depressed. I'm gonna fucking malware their shit.
But their molecules are making
There's a
decisions.
reason why I have to use us as mirrors to try to download us, our expressions at least, our online expressions at least, and then use that
Your cells are.
as to make it seem like a person, right? Because these guys that are creating these things probably struggle at abstract ideas, right? Psychology, shit like that. Unless they want to like harvest your data
Yeah.
to try to make something that looks like you happen, right?
it, like
Well,
the
it's
the
like
closest thing to having like something that would like want to destroy us, it would actually be to start with something alive. So if you create a new life from life, because we've never actually created life from non-life. We've never seen any human like create that way. But if you start with life, maybe you fuck with its DNA, maybe you breed it, you do something else, you basically make a beast, which is kind of what they did in Alien, right? Like they made androids, but they also made life from other life. And
Well, this guy would say that that
if
is
you do,
life already. Even
yeah, it starts as life.
no,
Yeah,
the mechanical parts are also life. It's still nature. It'd just be like
yeah.
a
What I
perceptional
mean is that
separation,
like
right?
what I mean is something that you would say, hey, it's doing something because it wants to, like a person, like an animal, sure, you could say everything is alive, but I mean like that it has intention,
You put it in a
like
box
that.
so that you can describe it. Got it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So
All the
so
all the
it-
metals and resources that makes a keyboard or a mouse are still nature.
Yeah, in my
yeah,
opinion, yeah.
yeah.
But we make separations for the sake of description, right? And communication about it.
I mean, but like, what if we were gonna fear that? Like, we might as well we already have tigers, right? We already have lions and all of these things. They can kill us. I mean, those things exist. The scarier thing is if we make one of those things more intelligent, right? But other than that, like we're
And
the
by
machines aren't
intelligent,
going
you
to
mean
do
more
it.
human-like? Now I'm using the
By
video.
intelligent, I mean
More human-like, right?
I
Increase
mean
their
the ability
intelligence. You just mean
to
increase their intelligence.
I
And
mean the
intelligent
ability to
means
solve
closer to
problems
human,
and
right?
fool people. No, I mean solve problems and fool people, like to out like smart other people,
If a
like
tiger
fool
is
them.
fucking crawling very softly in tall fucking grass, guess what? They're tricking you.
Yes,
They're gonna
yes,
sneak up on you.
yeah,
I'm
that
just
would be
saying.
tricking you.
I'm just playing with the ideas that this guy's bringing out to tie it all together. That's all I'm doing. Sorry to be extra scrutiny sounding. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean that works. I think that's correct. What you're saying. I mean, I think animals have abilities far beyond ours in many ways. They're just have whether it's sight, speed, strength. Like, yeah,
Well, a lot of the technology does try to mimic the things that animals can do, or even what humans can do. A lot of it was it biomimicry.
The internet's the fucking
Mm.
aesthetically or essentially what people would say is the brain, right?
Yeah,
It's like
like
nodes
telepathy.
connected to each other for
Mm-hmm.
thoughts and images and memories and yada yada yada, right?
Yeah. Random access memories.
Extensions of ourselves. Look at that. But all right, let's continue.
Hold on, I do want to ask if we like mine a meteorite from outer space, would we still call that nature?
Yes,
Okay,
Yeah.
the
cool.
fact that you had to ask that is wild to me. Like
Oh no, I wanted to
It's
see
okay.
what
we
people
are in
thought
outer
about that.
space, Dubster. Someone remind them. We are in outer space right now.
No, I
Technically, yeah.
wanted to see what you thought about that because I'm pretty sure people would argue that because it's not on Earth, they wouldn't consider it nature.
But that's what this guy's talking about, is that kind of egotistical separation from I'm this and that's separate from me. And the same way happened to Earth. Like we're Earth, everything else is out there. Right? Versus no,
sun
we're
is
in
all
outer space
over
too.
Earth, and it's also out there in
Yeah.
space, but it's everywhere here.
Yeah, look at that. Anyways,
So the sun is nature.
So is he defining separation and differentiation differently?
this guy,
Mhm.
I think he's saying like, no, all of this is nature. Although we might want to like egotistically separate it from ourselves, but it is nature. We're not separate from it.
No, but I'm saying like in terms of like differentiating from like your own thoughts from other, like your family or your community or whatever, like kind of that process. Would that still be a separation, or is that just differentiation? And is that like a different? I actually don't know what the different definitions. Two things.
Well, I don't know his idea of things, but my idea of things that
Mhm.
those things exist for the sake of, like the what I call the ego, is making clear separations between things on purpose for the sake of many things. Maybe initially it's for survival, right? Difference between like, tree and tiger, right? Maybe you make like
Mhm.
classifications of those things. But I think ultimately, for the for big PP stuff, I think the idea is to be able to dive into your own uniqueness while also being a part of a grand ocean of things, ocean of
I got a
beings and
question.
Like
experience.
oscillating between those two tensions of like
Yeah.
individual and like oneness.
Well, it's like I want to be able to eat ice cream while Bob over there is eating a steak. Like I like that we have that separation, but at the same time, maybe there is something within our psyches that it all connects together, right?
Mhm.
Or whatever your unique expression is. You want to be able to enjoy that, experience it, observe it. Of I'm me, they're them, but at the same time, when it boils down to everything, like, oh, we are kind of like, shout the what's her name, Lord. Like, we're on each other's team. Do, 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 do. Go ahead, Dubster. Shout the Lord too.
Would
It was
you
just sad.
would you
We're
say
on
in
each
He's
other's
Lord.
team. Would you what?
would you say invention is recognition of nature?
Invention?
Invention? Sorry.
Recognition of nature?
Invention.
It's,
What do you mean?
he's going back to the industry thing.
Oh, sometimes it's just practical in their minds, right? It's like, hey, I could hit this nail with my hand, or I can grab this rock over here and hit a nail. Maybe just practicality.
It's that recognition of nature.
Based on, I think you're going with the perception thing again. I think plenty of times people don't. They're like, how do I get food? How do I make a house? Whatever. How do I make shelter? So, in fact, these things are just tools to be used for the sake of a house, with no real recognition for it, psychologically speaking. As far as the word as far as the word care is concerned, right? There's like your kid, right? Where you're like, oh my god, my kid fell into the water. Oh my god, right? There's care there. Then there's like a tree falls into the water. You're like, well, who cares, right?
Okay, then explain compound interest.
Compound interest.
Thinking within the context of
I
invention.
think you're squinting your eyes to make something a reality that isn't there exactly. But go
I
ahead.
stopped using. I stopped using.
You're
the nails. I
hold
picked up
on,
a rock,
hold on.
not
You're
bang
auto
nails.
tuning. Try it again. Sorry.
Thank God.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So keep compound interest in your mind while thinking of invention. And your example was banging a hand against a nail to nail
Oh.
something. Now you've went to a rock instead. Why are you doing that? And think about the idea of compound interest. And what is compound interest to nature?
I don't get what you're saying, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, next week I'm gonna put a handle to the rock to make it a hammer.
Okay.
And after that, you know what? Thousands of years down the road, I'm gonna make the hammer electrified, and it's
Okay, so
even
you're talking about
faster and better.
efficiency. So that
Compound
that
interest.
rises.
Compound
yeah, I
interest.
understand that rises the price of how much the thing is worth. Got it.
No, it's multi-level to where now I started banging nails with my hand.
You mean exponential, not compound interest. Compound interest is like a fucking financial term.
What do you think exponential is? It's the
He's almost
first
saying
stage of
evolution.
compound interest.
You're basically saying evolution more than anything else.
Exponential
You're saying
is
it gets better, right?
What does this have to
exponential
do
is
with?
exponential
This guy's
is
not an economist. Like, this is not an economics conversation. This is not about efficiency.
It's about recognizing nature.
Yeah,
no,
being
he's saying
one with
psychologically,
nature.
perspective-wise. You're not picking up on that, Dubster.
Yes, I am. That's what
If
I'm
there was
fucking
initially,
saying.
hold on, no, it's in fact what you're saying. It's going the opposite direction in a way, according to what this guy's saying, right? Maybe initially the caveman. Hold on. Maybe initially the caveman was using his hand to make a home, right? Then he found a rock to like bang fucking pieces of wood together in place. He's like, oh my god, this rock is amazing. Like actual like care and worship of the rock in a way, right? Some people use the sun when they start growing crops and all that stuff, right? But as time went by, now it's more of like a commodity, like, as it's like, whatever, it's a fucking rock. Who cares? Oh, whatever, it's a fucking hammer.
It's a hammer.
Oh, whatever, it's a fucking hammer. Whatever, who cares? And like he's saying, there's
added
less care in that
electricity.
direction now versus
Now
like the
Now
caveman.
it's a nail gun. Now it's a nail gun. You can get what you could get with a hammer. You can 100 times that with a nail gun.
But
what is this 100 times getting us? What is the point of pounding more nails?
It's utilizing nature.
I'm sorry.
No, but
efficiency of nature.
But what he's talking about, Dubster, is that there was a reverence for a hammer when it was first invented. Like, oh my god, look at this super awesome thing that can allow me to live life easier. And now it's just like, whatever, it's a fucking hammer. Who cares? As in, like, psychologically speaking, there's not actual care about it. It becomes something separate from you.
Does
that make sense?
He is highlighted.
He can't understand this language.
Adjective. He is highlighted in his adjectives that our progression is actually digressive.
I just explained it to you, but I don't think you got it because I think God has to handle this one.
I don't agree with you.
I think God has to handle this one.
I don't agree with you.
You're telling me that the caveman that was like walking for miles and found water was like, oh my god, fucking water, holy shit. Versus you turning your faucet on, like, whatever, it's just a thing that's here. You don't think those are different?
Becomes an extension.
And then, like, just because you can invent something, why do you invent it? Like, what is the true point of it?
Well, like
it's some shit.
Efficiency, wants, desire.
Yeah, but killing people can be efficient. Hitler was efficient, if you want to go down that route. Like, it's all perspective of what
I'm saying
efficient
he is
is.
insulting. He is saying it is bad at a certain point because he highlighted
He's saying
industrialism, but I
perspective
don't think he
wise.
actually
Are
means.
you that
I don't
stupid?
think he actually means industrialism.
He's saying
I think
he's saying it's bad when it's done without care or when it's done for malice or like greed. He's talking about like the way
Right.
people
He's
behave
looking
and
at it as
their
in like
perspective, like you were saying.
someone's greedy, a monopoly tycoon.
No, it's
is
not
a
just that,
No, he's
dude.
talking about just
Holy shit, man! You don't fucking listen, do you? I mean, he,
I
like
do listen. I
he's
heard the
saying
fucking dude.
he's saying the idea is that these guys would make like gods about these things because it was so important to them. They're sun gods and water gods and land gods and all this shit because they're like, oh my god, thank God for this thing.
yeah.
We are one in that sense. But now it's like some like, oh, whatever. Kind of apathetic towards it as like it's separate. As in, I'm important. That's not really that important.
That was like the Spinoza guy who was a philosopher in the church. I don't know if it was the Catholic, some church, but they kicked his ass out because he was promoting that kind of like we are all one, everything is connected, animals are us
Yeah.
kind of thing, and
We add on top of the Cartesian idea you brought up, the Descartes idea you brought up, right? Of
Yeah.
we are unique and the world is a fucking mechanical thing.
No.
It's mechanical things here for us to abuse and use and whatever the fuck. Right?
Yeah.
Well, that was kind of
yeah,
his idea, though.
like not that long ago, we thought fucking animals were automatons.
And like that is a
Literally thought
mindset
they were
that
like
exists.
robots just walking around the forest.
Not just exists, it persists
Yeah. Regardless of
everywhere.
if they say it or not.
Everywhere.
It's about like
Yeah.
the actual psychological implications, not their stated principles or ideas of the world. Right? It's actually about actual practice that you do in the world.
Yeah.
That was kind
And
of that's kind of
oftentimes
his point, I think. Okay?
and oftentimes they don't even think about it as like their interests or values. They talk about it as like a position they're taking. Usually under some
There you
sort of like umbrella. You know, it's never like, oh, like I'm for this thing. But like we don't really go deeper into like what's underlying all that to kind of talk about the actual issue and not
Yeah.
like whatever team or identity you've associated
Yeah. There's also
with the
people
position.
that are a little bit more internally driven, as in they try to, in a way, empathetically put themselves in different positions and different perspectives and all that shit for the sake of care. Versus when they try to explain to others, they can't compute it because all they see is the externalization and the kind of materialistic sense of the world, which is where, no offense, Subster, I think that's where you're coming from, is more of the material. Like, that is appreciation. See? I made a steak, I ate it. Versus him saying, like, no, the actual, like, you made yourself separate from them so you don't feel bad when you shoot a fucking deer in the head or something like that, right? Or a cow in the head. Right? Does that make sense?
Feel grateful. Shouldn't
No,
feel
but
bad,
your
you should
idea
feel
of grateful might be different than his. Just like care might be different from me to you or someone else to someone else. Like, oh no, when I say care, it means this. When you say care, it means I burped after I ate my fucking McDonald's sandwich. So thus I appreciate it. I digested it. I appreciate it now. Like, is that right? But that definitely flows
Sad.
into more abstract idea of the world, right? The more towards the artist and the woo-wooers out there, or the psychologist, right? Where it's, or the philosopher, right? Where it's less so hard science and more so quote unquote soft science. But let's continue either way. Let me leave and come back real fast. Sorry. All right.
I'm not even trying to like this is the last thing I'll say, and I'll let you play the video, but
Say what you want.
I'm not even trying to be a hater, Dubster. I just feel like sometimes you do hear certain things, certain words, and then you associate it with like this whole other, I guess, like this like bad faith criticism coming from, oh, they just don't like the industrialists. They're being more efficient with it. Like, unless you're trolling, which I don't think you are at the moment. I just feel like
I heard
that
him
like
loud and
keeps
clear.
you from.
I heard him loud and clear.
Okay, never mind. Proceed.
Fair enough. But yeah, it does. It's more of an assessment right there. You might be like a hyper materialist upstairs without even realizing it. But I don't know yet. Let's keep playing. Here we go.
Keep us going.
Okay, to see what you're
Keep
doing.
human life going. See, all of this, though, is from the point
Wait,
of
what's
view of
going
the
on?
human.
Nothing.
This is anthropocentric. I'm not sure even
I'm
that
just messing
makes
with Discord
sense.
Nitro. Excuse that.
That's one of the fundamental things that has to change, is that we are not at the top of the pile or in the center of the universe.
So in order to save ourselves, what do we have to do?
Well,
What do we have to do to save
I'm
ourselves?
a therapist, so I'm very careful about using words like saving. And so I'm not really talking about saving or salvation or any of that. I'm talking much more about waking up to common sense. It's just a matter of realizing how dependent you are on taking a deep breath, or how dependent you are upon where your glass of water. And if that is lost, then you are in some kind of irreal world, delusional world. So it's that, waking up to the insanity of the way we have structured ourselves, rather than doing something in the world to make a change. That's the old style American way. Let's fix it. I'm not talking about fixing it. I'm talking about making a change in the mind that realizes, my God, I'm crazy.
That's right.
I mean, I can't disagree. Although he's going a little bit more towards the kind of sociological survival aspect of things, but it's like I think people do need to realize. Like I love this term from Michael Tsarian actually, where he doesn't say insane, he says unsane, as in maybe you're not quote unquote marbles in your brain or whatever the fuck, right? But maybe you're not sane either. You're unsane, or maybe unsanitary psychologically.
Yeah, or maybe you should clean your room, as even Jordan Peterson says, which is very,
Let's go
very
more.
true.
Let's go more with the metaphor of that, please.
No,
Deal
but
with your
yes,
psyche.
but it is it is similar in terms of like looking internally. What the fuck am I doing? Oh fuck, I have wronged this. I've been wrong here. It's really hard to do, to make a list of all the dumb fucking shit that you do. It sucks for sure. Luckily, I have James to make it for me. So.
Jesus. But
But no, but like no, serious. Unless you do it yourself, or it's like pointed out to you in some way where you actually take it seriously, and it's like, ugh.
yeah. And the people that, especially like with this channel where it's a lot of politics, I mean, just look around, and it's kind of obvious, right? We just went over that once again, that ICE thing, right? The ICE guy with the Minnesota lady, and the shooting happened, and the way people like instantaneously jump to sides, jump to opinions, jump to perspectives. It's the same as like school shooters. Like, man, I hope that kid's black. Damn, I hope that kid's white. I hope he's an illegal immigrant. Like whatever the fuck they're hoping, right? Before you hear any details on the matter, right? You're hoping for a certain social scenario. Like that's fucking crazy. That is batshit crazy to me. There's a batshit like thinking pattern where you're thinking of this thing that's supposed to be kind of kind of all of us talking about topics, right? It became like your actual thinking patterns, and it's like, holy fuck, that is crazy. That's crazy.
On top of that, Jordan, not just like even like low level kind of political figures saying this, random media people. You have the vice fucking president going up there and fucking saying this.
He's a very attractive
saying
man,
words
and he's
like
never lied about
absolute
anything in his
immunity.
entire life. He's a national treasure.
I'm just saying.
Leave Judy
I'm just
alone.
saying.
Leave Judy
Do not
alone.
use my name. Judy Judy will be criticized. Judy's is on trial right now. No, but that's crazy shit where you're like up there saying, "Oh, it's absolutely this is what happened. There's no debate about this thing. We've already covered this. Like this is the truth."
Yeah.
Her vehicle was used as a weapon, and that's what it is. And if the Minnesota tries to sue or to, press charges, then he has absolute immunity because he's a federal agent. Like,
Well, famous figures and politicians and commentators and influencers that are doing these things on purpose to like try to mind melt the audience. That's a whole other thing to me in regards to pathology. But for the average audience member, if that guy can drive you and steer you in directions, you got your own pathologies to really worry about. Like really worry about them. I mean, that is extremely dangerous in regards to things that can happen on the material front, but also within yourself, man. You are fucking dancing with a nuclear reactor and don't fucking realize it. When that shit goes down, and you're like, man, why am I doing this? Why am I behaving this way? Right? You don't really understand why you're doing what you're doing. Well, that's because the nuclear reactor went off and had a nuclear fucking spill in your psyche, and you never dealt with it before. And now you feel like a stranded person on an island, essentially. Like, fuck, the world is crumbling now. Don't let it get there. Walk in on your own volition, do some observation, and really work at it. That's what I would say. Don't take my word for it. Like, do what you do, but like, still, like, that's my idea of it. Like, really take a waltz into don't let the shadow grab you and snatch you into the darkness, right? Do it. Walk in there yourself. With your own fucking candle. Some people have flashlights, but hopefully have a candle and look around for a bit. Take a peek. And hopefully go further and further. Pause. Don't let some motherfucker,
Don't be like Scrooge, where you have to be visited in a dream.
Don't let me
by
or
the
Judy,
ghosts.
don't let me or Sebs or Judy or anyone fucking tell you who the fuck you are. Go look for it. Go figure it out. And don't stop till you find the answer, would be my thing. But, do your thing. Either way, let's keep going. Here we go.
Mind that realizes, my God, I'm crazy.
That's just a funny line.
That's great.
Well, god dang it.
Can I
I'm
ask a
fucking
follow-up
crazy.
question?
It's fucking true.
What?
The play that we went to go see with James was we saw A Christmas Carol, but it was a one-man show. So he played all the characters. It was really interesting.
Oh, god dang.
Yo,
Yeah,
I'm
he
gonna
was
go see
very
that if I'm not
talented.
mistaken.
Huh?
Or never mind. It's Oliver Twist is the one that's playing in my town. That's not
really?
the same,
No, we
is
had
it?
Christmas Carol and Hello Dolly this year.
Actually,
But
Oliver
Christmas Carol
Twist
was
is
good.
with Tiny Tim, or is that Christmas Story?
Christmas Story.
Yeah, it's Tiny Tim.
Christmas Carol. Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Tiny Tim, yeah. Yep, Tiny Tim. Yes.
That'd be interesting, actually.
The one-man show?
Well, like, because in the whole idea of like Scrooge and his, past, present, future, it's about dealing with his own psyche, essentially. That's kind of it.
That's exactly what it was.
So, like,
was
one
him,
guy
like,
playing
coming-
that is interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it was so interesting because he had different voices, and he had like there was music and lighting, and it was, you would think, and it's like it was an hour or like 45 minutes and then 15-minute intermission and another 45 minutes by himself.
Okay.
I was so impressed. Yeah. I was like, this fucking guy, and he looked like that guy, what is it, Third Rock from the Sun? John Lithgow?
Lithgow?
Kind of looks like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lithgow. hmm
Okay.
It was highly impressive.
I'd be curious how that worked, but like, okay. But yeah, that actually fits the idea here of dealing with your own psyche, your past events, your projected future of events that could happen because if you're on the wrong path, right, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it could be from a trauma, right? Someone that broke your heart when you were younger could lead to why you're a Scrooge today, right? I don't know if they did that.
That was the whole point of the entire book. I mean, that's what, because Charles Dickens, like, that's the kind of stuff that he writes about, whether it's like A Tale of Two Cities, which is my personal favorite of all of his books. But it's just, he deals with these like human like qualities about us, like these emotions, where they come from, what happened, like what happened to trigger this.
Yeah.
It's like, it's always like a kind of a psychological roller coaster.
Fair enough.
In terms of,
just don't tell Kay to see that. He wants nothing to do with quality, so don't tell him about that.
Is he not a fan of Dickens? It's like the most amazing
pause away,
creation of the Commonwealth. But it's the only thing that I like about the Commonwealth is Charles Dickens.
He likes Moby Dick.
I've got a tale of two cities. It's called Minneapolis and St. Paul.
Yo, that was racist. Huh?
It was the best of times. It It was the worst of times. Where's
It
the
was the
beast
best
though?
falafel. It was the worst falafel that I ever had at Moby Dick's.
But where's the beast? Where is he? All right.
It's the beast. Is he here? He left.
Now he left.
Okay.
Something interesting was happening, so he had to leave. But all right, here we go.
Yes,
question.
please do.
So, what if you could name a couple of things or one in our culture that has emphasized this insanity, this illness? What would it be?
Money.
Can you rephrase the question and then say?
Can you
and
say
then
this?
That is me for sure. Like, not saying his idea is immature or anything. I'm saying that was my idea when I'm like 20 years old. I'm like, yo, money fucking sucks, bro. People do some stupid shit for some fucking money. They take things away from people. They give negative things to people for the sake of money. They do horrendous shit for this little fucking thing. I'm like, I hate that shit. It was immature the way I went about it, but at the core of it, the tenacity about it was correct and still is correct. I'm still there.
I agree.
But I'm very curious what this guy thinks about that. Here we go.
I had a feeling you were going to say that because the follow on to that was like, can you discuss the role of
Okay, let me
capitalism?
just
in
shift
insanity?
myself a little bit.
What the? Yo, that was crazy. That was crazy.
Are we into capitalism?
Yes.
That was zesty and swaggy.
The thing that has
thing that
caused
has
our
caused-
illness
Has
is
been
capitalism
money,
or
is
whatever.
money.
you know,
Just say money.
Well, money, it's not money's fault. No, I don't want to blame
Money's neutral.
our tragedy on money. It could be something profound in human nature, which is greed or expansionism or growth. Some strange factor. Maybe
okay.
we are a virus in the whole system. Maybe we're
That's
not
from the
really,
Matrix.
don't really belong. Maybe this self-destruction or human destruction that seems to be running at a fast pace, as if we're all running towards the finish line on purpose. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe we really have ruined things and are not serviceable anymore. That's one possibility. But what would make us unserviceable? Could it be this furor agendi, the rage to do, to make,
Invent.
expand,
Industry.
to take hold, to own, to possess? Is that only a Western drive?
No.
No, it's not. I don't like. See, look, those things like the idea of ambition and things like that. Like, I don't want any fucking fuckface. I don't want them having that term. Like, I want righteous people to take that term away from them. Like, no, real ambition, healthy ownership of yourself, or, well, typically, be yourself, right? A whole bunch of these terms, I want those terms to be mine. Fuck some little fuckface getting on a microphone and saying, like, yeah, we own this, some sort of piece of land or something like that. We own this country. We own this whatever the fuck. Fuck those guys. We're taking their terms away from them. We're going to make them healthy and own the shit out of them. Fuck these little idiots out here. But that's who he's talking about, let's be honest. When he says people that are very ambitious and want to, quote unquote, expand, or expansionism, if you will, or any of these terms he's saying, right? He's talking about like a malicious version of that, right? A malevolent version of that, not the healthy version of ownership, of charity, of growth, of ambitiousness. At least my idea of healthy. But I get what he's saying. It's just like, I want to clear that up. Like, fuck them. They don't get that word. I don't give them the word power either. I hate that too, personally. Like, oh my God, Trump has so much power. No, he fucking doesn't. He's a little dweeb. He's a little dweeb abusing your power, you fucking idiots. You dummies. He threw his power away, and now he's abusing yours. You dummies. That shit, like him having limousines, is not real power. It's just a fucking car. Duh. But that's just my little peccadillo there. Like, I hate when these terms are used towards Oh, so powerful.
Peccadillo?
So strong. So important. Like, are they? Huh? I'm taking that shit back.
Well, I
I'm
think there's a
sorry.
difference between being an ambitious person and letting that like kind of take possession of you versus having ambition, or like I think those are two different things in terms of definition, like you were saying.
If you want to go lowercase a ambition and then capital A ambition, I'll go with that. I can run with that one.
Or just like being an ambitious person versus like having ambition, like not being possessed by that, like by your ambition that you're willing to do anything, including like, just leaving all of your integrity aside and just stomping over people.
But I don't want
It's
them to
like,
have
what the
that
fuck?
term.
This is, yeah.
I don't want them to have that term. I'm gonna call it pathology. I'm gonna call it that. It's pathological, right? It's like
Pathological ambitions.
this person's not liberal. They're maybe using that to get whatever, like for their actual real pathological diagnosis. That's the real thing that we're seeing. It's not liberalness. It's not conservatism. It's a pathological motherfucker doing their thing in the world. That's what I want to do with words like ambition or even liberal or conservative. I want people that actually mean it and really dive into it to own that shit. If someone's like, I'm so ambitious, I will, shoot these 10 people dead to get what I want. Like, well, you're a mentally ill person. You're not ambitious.
Mhm.
You're pathological. That's my idea of things.
Well, it goes into pathology if like you're harming people,
Yeah.
but it could also be like just a possession of that thing where you're like willing to quote unquote do whatever, even if you're not willing to kill somebody, you're still willing to screw someone over. Like that's still horrible.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But I don't want some fuckface to get on stage and say, I represent the ambitious. And then someone's like, I'm ambitious too.
It's gonna be Candace next week on her show.
Because I think in modern society right now, the labels fuck people's heads up, apparently. That I'd be like being like, wait a minute, you're not ambitious. You're full of shit, aren't you? Like, you're not even ambitious. You're you're a crazy person. You're crazy. You're out of your fucking mind. But once I do get what he's saying now. I'm not trying to like, just like for me with words, sometimes I'm like, no, he's not getting the word power. There's no real power there. And I see some fuckface trying to dominate another country or dominate their classmates or dominate their fucking spouses or girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever the fuck. Like, that's not power. That's a mentally ill person. Let's call it what it is. But, yeah, here we go.
An all-human drive. It seems not to be an all-human drive when you look at some tribal societies that have lived 50, like the Aborigines in Australia, they've lived 50,000 years.
No, they do it there too, pal, just so you know.
Getting into that?
Most likely.
We would say they haven't been living very well, though. I think below money, below capitalism, is this greed, which capitalism somehow feeds.
They can all feed it.
Makes into a virtue. Let's put it that way. Makes it into a virtue.
We're going straight politics with all this shit.
There's more to say about capitalism, I'm sure.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you could.
You want to keep going?
There's more to say about it.
Yeah, you may,
to the
I
human
may
parts, my
wander
man.
a little bit, but then you can,
There's different aspects of capitalism that we're interested in. It's like consumption and media and advertising, and there's the economic system of it.
And competition. That's a big piece of it.
Are we
That idea
talking
of competition.
about-
But well, let me think now what I want to do here.
Well, we were talking about capitalism and greed. Basically, the underlying drive, human drive,
Yeah.
is greed.
Yeah.
And there's also just the
No,
discussion.
what is greed? That should be your next
How
question.
we are and how things have become how they've become.
Not capitalism.
There's also this hope, this sort of, what do we do now?
I know you don't like the word denial, but in this state.
No, we have to use that word denial
Okay.
because then I want to do something with
Okay,
it.
great. So maybe here it
But
is.
before we get there,
Okay.
there was a book that came out a long time ago called Protestantism and the Rise of Capitalism by a man named Tawney. And he shows
Tony?
that capitalism developed and became the dominant faith of Western people, this parallel to the rise of Protestantism. And the virtue
It's a
of each
Protestant
person
work
on
ethic.
his, I'm saying his because that's what it was then, his own, and owning. And owning gives you the right to do whatever the hell you want to do with what's yours. And that is a Protestant strength of ego. I am captain of my own ship, and nobody's going to push me around, and watch out for the law of eminent
Sounds like
domain.
Dubster.
He's
And this
diagnosing
is my
Dubster in real
land, and
time.
you get the
Crazy.
hell off. And so on.
Literally.
So if I want to cut down the trees on my land, they don't belong to the common, which was one of the older ideas in New England anyway, but they belong to me. So the exaggeration of me in our psyches goes along with the development.
But they haven't worked
He's
on
not
me.
even here. He's not even here to hear it.
I know. But these fools haven't worked on
It's
the
not
me aspect
exactly
of
as
that.
Marx
So
thought.
it's not even me
That
that's
is,
happening.
it's the
Sorry.
ownership.
Real quick. It's not even a me thing because they don't know me. Like the me-ness, the I-ness of themselves, they don't know that shit. There's not even that driving them. So it may be like I get what he's saying, like as far as like a simpleton idea of, I'm most important. So thus me and mines are most important, so thus I behave a certain way. But those guys aren't even aware of what they're doing. Like they're blind to their own experiences, their own drives, to all of it. So they can't even take the word me or I. In my humble opinion, it's a pseudo version of I. It's a pseudo version of me. It's a pseudo version of tree. It's a pseudo version of my property. It's all pseudo. It's make believe. It's borrowed. They didn't come up with it. They got it from someone else. Or at least their idea of someone else's idea, which is just like, God dang. Can you be any more blind to your own experience? But I get what he's saying. On a typical social simpleton level, I get what he's saying. I was just hoping for a little bit more depth. Like, hey, what are these guys really doing? What's really driving behavior there? I think there's more than enough things you could say in regards to answers, or at least, guesses or hypotheses about that. Because yeah, it's like, hey, who are you? Well, I'm a lumberjack. And that's your occupation. Like, who are you? I'm Bob. That's your fucking name. Who are you? I never really thought about it. Exactly. Not thought about means you don't know. In which case, you better find that answer out before it's too fucking late and the fucking lights dim. If you want to have fun in life. You know what I'm saying? It's the only way to fly. The only way. Otherwise, you are subject to the times around you. At best. At best. I'll hit play, but I'll be right back. Here you go.
Of capitalistic power. It's not exactly as Marx thought. That is, it's the ownership of the means of production, because the means of production are now managed by managers who don't necessarily own it at all. They just manage it for, supposedly, I think, for political power, and personal gain. That's different.
Yep.
It's the sense of my own. And psychotherapy's turned this whole thing into you're supposed to own all your feelings, own everything you've said, and we continue to build this personal owner. That's the root of the capitalism that we have today, so that we then feel threatened with anybody, anything, any people, any move that would take some of that away. Like, you want to govern my trees, my waste, my this, my that. You're infringing on me.
Can I? So
Yeah.
would a sustainable world, would an human mental orientation in the direction of sustainability
All right, my bad.
completely subvert that me consciousness? It's more of a we consciousness. Is that true? Or what?
I think something more is needed than the idea of sustainability. I think sustainability is faulted for one big reason. It's still somehow an economic idea. And I think economics, as I've been trying to say for some time now, is an insane faith that justifies everything we do.
Yeah.
We do it because we justify what we do, and we explain what we do in terms of economics. Let us set that aside. What would make you want not to destroy something would be your sense, your appreciation of its beauty. If we start with the
be fair.
world as a beautiful,
Could be fear. There's a whole, like, I understand he's having a conversation for the sake of doing an on-camera interview, but it could be a whole complication of reasons why you might not do something. Someone might not kill. They may want to kill. They might not do it because of fear of the law, fear of retribution, fear of whatever. Be fear of God, like, which is another twisted way of looking at God, in my humble opinion, of if I do bad thing, I'll be punished. So thus I want to do bad thing. But part of me kind of wants to. That is, in my opinion, fake, whatever religion you're practicing. It's a fake version of that. You shouldn't be fearing God, right? In my humble opinion. Not the way to do things, in my humble opinion. But, like, either way, okay, getting back to this, could be a whole bunch of things. Doesn't have to always be appreciation. That requires some sense of self, in my humble opinion. But here we go.
want not to destroy something would be your sense, your appreciation of its beauty. If we start with
Oh, yeah, you
the
said not
world
want
as
to.
a
Okay, fair enough.
beautiful, as something beautiful, we would want, what do you do with anything beautiful? You fall in love with it. And by falling in love with
That's right,
the
Natalie
world,
Portman.
you want to keep it around.
My love.
And that's the simplest answer to the problem of the world. The Greeks thought that the word cosmos, meaning the whole thing, the whole bag, really was an aesthetic term. It meant orderly, beautifully, carefully, considerately. And it was closer to the word for cosmetics than it is to the word cosmonaut. In the Greek world, it meant an adornment. So the world, the cosmos, was an adornment, something extraordinarily beautiful that you could see in the night sky, you could see in a forest, you could see anywhere, in a person, in the way the hair falls on a woman, the way a man moves his hands when he's working, whatever. It could be anywhere at all. And that was the cosmos showing
Swan.
itself. It displays. Now, once we reawaken our aesthetic sense, and are not anesthetized, as we are, by all the distractions. If we were not anesthetized, we would be able to see and appreciate the beauty in the world. Now, the moment there's beauty, you fall in love with beauty. That's Plato, but it's also our own experiences. You see a beautiful man or a beautiful woman and you fall in love with them. That's the first bit of attraction. And if you fall in love with something, love the world, not through Christian moralism about you must love the world, or an economic one, it's sustainability for our own benefit, therefore we'll live longer. That is not it. It's got to be something much more profound that touches the heart. And it touches the heart if you realize that our job on the earth is to love it, to fall in love with it. Not just to love it, you must love the world, but to fall in love with it, and you only fall in love with it if you're aesthetically alive to it.
Or just can we talk about why we're not in love with the world right now?
Well, we're not in love with the world now because we're anesthetized. Robert J. Lifton has a great thing about psychic numbing. We're psychically numbed. I mean, we numb our senses from morning till night, whether it's with noise or loud music or light at night, so that you never see the night sky, or whether it's with a glass of ice water before you eat. You've numbed your mouth. We don't smell. We're anesthetized. I'm leaving out the
I think those are
pharmaceutical
symbols.
I'm
industry.
interested in his concept
That's
of
all
love.
a business of anesthetization.
What was that?
I'm interested in his concept of love. Like, what do you think he means by love? Like,
I don't know.
he's he's talking about loving. Like he says, like if you appreciate the beauty of a man or a woman, you just love, right? And
Ball.
it's
Yeah.
he's describing it from. I mean, it doesn't sound like a lust type of thing. It sounds like an appreciation of the beauty, and almost like an intrinsic attraction, right? And so,
Yeah.
because of how he described nature earlier, I wonder how broad love can be. Like, could it be the attraction of even hell of atoms? You know, like, do they love each other because they're made to be in such a way where they're like made for each other, right? Like they like do things come together because they're made for each other like that. Like, I wonder what he means by love.
It almost, I don't know. Maybe it's a mixture of, like, I don't think what he's implying there isn't just molecules sticking to each other. I think it's more so like you have a choice, but you don't have a choice, where it's like a little bit more abstract. If that makes sense.
Yeah, well, it's almost like the choice is like what I'm hearing is that we're kind of like inundated with stuff of our life, of things in the way, blocking us from appreciation of like what is natural.
Including an
And
egotistical force, right?
yeah, mostly in our minds, right? Like we're just have these other ideas that just complicate things. Whether I mean, he referred to um, capitalistic structures or just things that are not like real. Like, they're not things right in front of us, right? There's other ideas that like are
Mhm.
overlaid on top of things that kind of cloud what's normal, like what's just intrinsically built in.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I guess he's kind of saying that, but there was an implication of like you said, like forcing yourself to love the world, right? Versus like falling in love with the world. I assume the idea of
Yeah,
fall is like lack of control, right? Uh,
I see it as the thing that would just happen if you just let it happen, versus like forcing yourself is like,
yeah,
well, I mean, this person's rich, so I'm
yeah.
gonna, like there's other things that like you're like, okay, I should do this, so I'm going to, but maybe it's not like my nature. Like it's not
But that's
what
clearly
I.
not love, though, if you're fucking adding other things to like monetary.
Well, that's where the force comes in, right? Like it doesn't have to be monetary. I just use like some kind of example, but like
Or
something
just
that's like
status, or
doing things that are not like just of itself. Like you do like if you're just feel like it, right? You're just like if
Uh,
you're deciding to love, then that's almost forced, right?
it could.
I
Well,
see
that's the
people that like
complication.
they like pre-plan so much shit out like that, like, and it's like, yeah,
That could be the way to go. That's the complication of actual, in my opinion, of being yourself. That you could force something, but be blind to the idea. Like, I don't know, if you actually let go, you do actually like this person or love this person or this thing or something like that. But you're maybe clouding yourself by forcing it.
but is it what you want, or is it something that you think you need?
You might think I need this, and then you're like, at some point, something, it's usually trauma, something bad happens, and you're like, you know what, fuck this, and you realize like, wait, I actually do love this. Holy shit! But I was like clouding myself by hyper forcing something. Like
I
there's a
won't date a
whole
man
Yeah.
complication to
unless
all that.
he's over 6 feet tall and makes at least six figures or more.
I might have
Harrison,
complicated
add
it
another zero, bro.
by
You're in.
referring to money, but like it was just an example of something that's like not built in. It could be anything.
Yeah, it could be anything.
Like
It could also lead to the thing, right? It could lead to the thing that you
yeah,
quote unquote
yeah.
naturally look for in the first place, right?
It could. It's a different form, right?
That's the same thing. It's the same as falling. It's just you have to be open to falling, according to
No,
what
no.
this
I,
guy's
I
saying.
mean, it's a different form than the initial, like forced. In that scenario, the forced one.
It's perspective. Yeah. It's I'm making it like in their own minds. I'm willfully making something happen, and then there's I tried. You know what? This will thing didn't work. You let go, and then all of a sudden, oh fuck, this was the thing for me, wasn't it? It is the thing I love. But their forcedness clouded their being, their black swan, if you will. Right? Possibly. And it goes the other way too, right? There are things that you know you love, but you forgot how in love you are with it. Whether it's a thing, an action, a sport, a person, whatever the fuck. So thus, in those moments where you're like, fuck, like you feel like lost about it, you might use willpower to still move in the same direction. That's that's the big woo-woo, big pee-pee stuff. In my humble opinion. But yeah, that's a whole complication that this guy's not going over. He's trying to keep it very, very simple. I understand. Or he doesn't even know about it. He's not saying exactly what I would say. Put it that way. So let's see where he goes though. Here we go.
Or changing our sensation stuff. The schools don't teach art or music. I just read recently that kids are not allowed to have recess in Georgia, little kids in school, because they might fall down, scrape their knee, and then there'd be a lawsuit. They've cut recess out of the school. So everything
trash,
is
bro.
to keep the senses stopped.
Make
shut
dodgeball
down.
great again.
So nobody sees the beauty. We're not any longer appreciators. Our definition of the human being now has become
automatons.
Homo sapiens, we know, or Homo, God knows, all kinds of things. Homo faber, we make things. I think
Homo
our
dumpster
point is Homo aestheticus. I think the human being is on the planet in order to appreciate it. That's all. You don't have to do anything with it. You have to appreciate it. And what you do with it should add to its beauty.
Okay. And the idea of appreciate, that probably has a broad spanning idea too. I'm sure this guy wrote books about this shit. Thus, there's more detail. But he's just doing an interview, so I'll be fair. But yeah, I think existence itself is just a classroom. You're in classroom to learn how to have real fun, real fun, right? And not momentary fun, not kind of fun, actual fun, 24/7 for the rest of existence. I think that's partially what experience is for. But it's the word fun, if I went into detail what that means, there's a lot to it, right? Sometimes you want to miss the game-winning shot in a basketball game because it fucking hurts. It's fuck, I fucking missed it, fuck. Or you want to be I'm embarrassed for doing that. And then you want to rise up from that, become the fucking guy who makes that shot one day. Maybe. Or maybe you find out basketball's not your thing. Maybe it's something else. Maybe all those drills you did in basketball led to you becoming a skateboarder. And you have mobility and flexibility and athleticism to where now you're a nasty fucking skateboarder. And that became your actual thing. Because but it's fun to learn it, right? To go through the chaos and create an order out of it. It's not the Illuminati right now. I mean, actually, that's an actual thing. When you're first learning something, right, it's pure chaos. What the fuck is going on with this thing? I don't know what the fuck's going on. Right, you're not an expert. But slowly but surely, if you stick with it, right, if you have some sort of drive towards it, an authentic drive towards it, you'll reach a point where it's I get it. You found the order of what you were doing. There was a point to this. That aha moment. But also, every little moment before that, when you're not in quote unquote aha moment, those are also equally valuable and in their own way kind of aha moments. It's like, I don't know how to explain this, but it's like, you know, life is fucking awesome and also terrifying. How about that? Hopefully that made sense. God dang it, I love woo woo. All right, let's continue. This is my shit, bro. Here we go.
Wow, beautiful. I think the soul cries when you hear about the arts and the music
Yeah.
and the desensitization, because
Yeah.
it's true, especially in a place like LA.
He brings up movies, bro.
You know, we
Yeah, which
shouldn't go there
we
yet.
will
one of my guys
to
now.
Los
Pause.
Angeles.
Now we're just taking a little.
Society.
Yeah, let's get the movies.
About innocence
Yeah,
and
but a little stretch.
Do you want to have some water?
Good idea. I get dry quickly.
Pause.
I'm talking fast too.
No, you.
That's the myth that is presented as science. That we
Okay.
have to remember that the myths are more actual in our lives than some of the things we think are the truth, because those things change every 6 or every generation or 2 generations.
I'm not gonna go that far with the science of it, but like, I'm telling you right now, this is why I love film. Why I love film. It's the reason why I love film, because it tells it. In my opinion, if you can read the language of where they're going, they're telling you a truth. They're taking, like, I'll say like a statement where it's like, "Oh, you're you, I'm me," but I can't take, like, someone can't pour a beaker of themselves, right? Sorry, pour an amount of themselves into a beaker for you to understand, like, and observe it and study who the fuck they are, right? But symbolism can actually achieve it if there's a if people can hear the language for it, which comes off in many different forms, right? Body language, symbolism, creating a world where you can decide what the characters will or won't do, the music behind the characters that it's playing there, right? Still images, the fast movements, the shaky cams, that's why I love film so much. Now, every art form can capture that. We just did the Rodney Mullen skateboarding video, right? Every art form can capture these things. For me personally, I think movies are just the best to me. For me personally, because they can have a guy skateboarding in the movie and make it symbolic and mean something, as much as Rodney Mullen could, like, talk about the symbology or symbolism of skateboarding itself and what they're doing and why he does what he does. You can capture God moments in films. You can freeze frame time in a world that you made for others to say, like, "Oh, I get what you're doing there." Abstraction is seemingly starting to become like a lost art of observation. It really is, in my humble opinion. We're going so hardcore towards mechanical thinking that motherfuckers are missing out. They're missing out. And in fact, the reason why they obsess over the mechanical is to get to the abstraction, which is, who are you? Why are you here? What are you doing? Why do you care to do what you're doing? It's like the idea of survival, right? I will fight for survival in order to live. The idea of live doesn't mean inhale, exhale. That's the survival part, right? You survive, you do survival things to inhale, exhale. The main part of inhale and exhaling is for what? To experience. To do to think about things, to experience things. That is the abstract. We try to survive in order to live. Straight up. And motherfuckers are missing out on that. Shout out to K2C. Enjoy your dog shit wrestling, okay? Enjoy your Brock Lesnar seasoning. Let me tell you, there's better shit out there. All right. Sorry. All right, here we go.
The myths continue always the same stories. The hero kills the animals
Wait,
and
what?
separates from nature and sets up the human kingdom. That
What?
goes on and on and on, one way or another.
I guess we disagree.
Okay, Julie.
So let's pick up on this idea of the loss of beauty and love,
Mm-hmm.
and this
Philosophy
side
of beauty and
question
love?
that there must be a deeper sadness to that,
Oh my.
and can we talk about that? And is that what's
The, you know, the loss that I was talking about there, the loss of beauty, the loss of appreciation, or what we do have left, though, is a feeling of loss. Something's missing. Something's missing in our lives. And there's some statistic done by some marvelous statistician, sociologist, anthropologist, that we are only at rank 27 in the category of societies that's happy.
You can't use that.
Have sub-zero
You're a psychologist.
fridges and Viking ranges.
Come on. You're a psychologist. You can't use the happy meter. It's not good enough, and you know that. All the complications that in regards to this idea of happiness, when they take like, hey, are you happy or not? Check yes for yes, check no for no. Like, that's not good enough, and you know that. Because motherfuckers might be afraid socially, like, well, I don't want people to think I'm unhappy. I'm happy. We know motherfuckers that are depressed and walk around with smiles on their faces. I've done it myself. That is a real phenomenon. There's motherfuckers that are happy as shit, walking around brooding with a hoodie up. I've done that as well. There's too much complication for using happiness studies. They don't do enough questioning. They don't do enough answers, in my humble opinion.
This guy looks like sober Ric Flair.
He looks nothing like Ric Flair. How fucking dare you? Also,
I was just watching clips.
Woo! Right.
He's the nature boy.
Nate. Dun, 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 dun. All right, here we go.
Is that what he came out to?
Yes, he's the nature boy.
No way.
Yes, he did. And his daughter comes out to like a dance mix version of that song. It's hilarious. But all right, here we go. But I'm not using. I would never use happiness. That's what Andrew Yang does because he's an automaton himself. He's using robot stats. But all right, here we go.
And there's some statistic done by some
a lot of people walk around and think there's something missing for sure.
Sociologist, anthropologist, that we are only at rank 27 in the category
break on
of
through to the other
societies
side
that's
for that
happy. Yet we have sub-zero fridges and Viking ranges and hybrid cars and all the rest, but we're not happy. And our job, you know, in America is the pursuit of happiness.
Don't ask Jordan questions.
It doesn't mean chasing after happiness, by the way. I think it means that is our pursuit. The pursuit, that is our task. Is
that will never happen.
The work of happiness. Well, there's no happiness
without
going. The sense of beauty and without somehow or another being in love with life.
Fair enough, but vague terms. Fair enough. Ask more detailed questions,
so
guy.
because there's this deeper sense of loss, there must be a denial because we are supposed to be happy, aren't we? So are we in a state of denial, or do you want to
Or
bring
how are
in
we
innocence?
reacting to that loss?
Yeah.
Like what are the psychological responses to
Well,
this
we-
kind of unnameable loss?
Yeah.
And that would have to be subconscious because no one's walking around. I don't think. I would assume that he thinks that most people are not walking around saying, man, I'm missing something. He would say it's on a subconscious level, I would assume. So thus, okay, what is the behavior following that loss? Here we go.
If we've lost the feeling of the beauty of the world, then we are looking for substitutes. Eric Hofer said, you can never get enough of what you don't really want, meaning we rush around buying stuff, needing stuff,
this is so
permanently
politics.
needy, needing therapists, needing love, needing relationships, needing holidays, needing vacations, and you deserve it, says the ads. And you deserve it because you're miserable. You're depressed.
So this guy's more in the political realm of kind of psychology and philosophy. Theming. He's like, okay. Interesting. At the same time, like, there are people that are getting some sort of, you know, I'm not going to call it pure happiness, but let's call it a high. They got high off happiness for a little bit, right? For whatever experience they're going through. or whatever they're doing, whether they go to a movie or they drive a fast car or something like that, right? They get a thrill out of it. But that thrill is not fake. That's real. But that real experience may not be attached, like it may not be, how do I say this? That feeling of happiness or exhilaration, something like that, right? This quote unquote typical idea of happiness. It may be attached to something psychologically that is not actually the pure sense of what they're actually happy about, if that makes sense. It could be like the thrill of like risk taking, right? Like a roller coaster, the thrill of a risk, right? Oh my God, it's all fucking crazy. Oh my God, extreme sports, whatever the fuck, right? But if they actually found the actual thing that would actually be in tune with, right? Shout out to David Icke, I guess. But like the actual experience that would actually line up with that feeling they're getting, then there'd be no turnoff for it. I truly believe that. I'm fucking his name up now. Fuck my life. Joseph Campbell, right? The idea of following your bliss. Like, I believe that's an actual phenomenon. In fact, I live it, to be honest with you. But bliss may not be the idea of bliss that you might think it is, as in like, I'm happy, quote unquote, happy or exhilarated 24/7. You want levity. You want downbeats as much as you want high notes, right? You want silence sometimes. To be able to balance all those things out is, in my opinion, pure happiness. To experience all those things. Guess what? If you love someone so much and they go away, you want to be like, oh, well, I feel good. I'm happy, dappy, dappy. Right? You want to be fucking in the Willy Wonka fucking factory dancing around. No, you want to feel like shit about it. That might be bliss if you actually look at it. Because something you actually truly care about goes away. And to feel like shit when that thing goes away is real, and it's who you are, which is, to me, bliss. In a way. So, yeah. I mean, I give this guy, I'm kind of going left field from this guy, what he's saying. But, I mean, I get it. I get it. Like the advertisements, the merchants are cool, the corporation, documentaries like that, where they talk about, the consumerism, and they make you feel shitty because you don't have that convertible with the hot chick in the backseat, right? Like this other guy has. Which is, to me, like pseudo-happiness. Like, what are you actually after? Maybe it's comfort. What did KRS-One say? About 50 Cent's album, right? Get rich or die trying, right? It's like, it's not the idea of getting rich. It's the idea of being able to do what the fuck you want. That's what lots of money means to a lot of people, right? Like, do whatever the fuck I want or die trying. Be free or die trying, in a way. And that could be like the actual tenants versus like actually like being rich. If 50 Cent's like, I can do whatever I want, but I don't have any money. I'll do whatever the fuck I can do, whatever the fuck I want. This is like that hardcore condition by this world we live in right now. But in reality, it's like, it's about be free to do what you want. Live the way you want to live. That's the actual core thing. And to be fair, he did address that in regards to the idea of greed. When he was talking about money, right? Like, why they're doing what they're doing is actually greed. But it like kind of facilitates itself through money or whatever, whatever the fuck it is. Right? But like, okay, let's play more. I love topics like this, bro. I can talk and talk and talk. Here we go.
Now the government or the health service has shown you can read a questionnaire and find out that you're depressed, even if you don't really know it or feel it. It can be discovered, and then you can take
slop psychology. Yeah,
that's all. Maybe that's a side issue, but the loss, the feeling of loss, is that we don't know what it is we've lost, and that's what I've been trying to emphasize. Is what we've lost is the beauty of the world.
It's hard to describe.
We make up for it with attempting to conquer the world or own the world, possess the world.
We need
Right.
Okay. Okay. Once again, I know people are like, "Oh, you just keep saying beauty of the world," but like, once again, describe yourself, like who you really are. You're end up in rough territory. It's be very difficult to do. Very difficult to put into words, like who the fuck you are, or what is happiness? Very difficult to put into words. Right. So when he says like lack of seeing the beauty of the world, it kind of has to be in vague terms, but it's abstract. It's not, you know, mechanistic. It's broad terms because these things are broad. There's no way around it. It's not so, word wise simplified. But it's starting to lag a little bit. Let me leave and come back. Sorry. All right. All right, let's continue. Here we go.
Just for the camera, can you discuss the basic concepts?
Oh, this is a marathon.
Of
I'm in there.
because it seems to be an extraordinarily important new movement.
Welcome to YellBro Church.
I wrote that some
We're
time
here.
ago.
If you want to know.
The basic idea is that we don't know where the psyche stops. Does it stop in my head and my skin? Everything inside is psyche. Or is it in interrelationships between two people? Or is it in the room where is it only human beings? In other words, where does the psyche stop? Now, perhaps it doesn't stop anywhere. Maybe there's an old Greek idea of the anima mundi, the soul of the world. And maybe the psyche is extended through all things. Philosopher
Collective unconscious.
Whitehead said, nature alive. Maybe there is psyche even in stones and in rocks and rivers and oceans.
I've heard the ideas.
And so on and so forth. Ecopsychology assumes that the psyche is not only inside human beings or in between in relationship with human beings. That's it. It's not intrapsychic or interpsychic, but it is somehow we are in the psyche rather than the psyche in us. That's the basic idea of ecopsychology. Therefore,
which is very interesting. Sorry to cut him off, but it's like the idea of if the universe is just, if you want to call it like God or whatever, or nature, whatever, then we, as much as a soda can or a computer or whatever, is just an expression of God. Once again, very symbolic, very woo-woo sounding, which means we are as much as we have at least perceived internal of ourselves, we externally are the internal of God itself. That's kind of an idea that I've heard out there. And as God creates universes, we also create universes within ourselves as much as any other being in the universe. If that makes sense. It's very woo-woo, but, worth saying. Here we go. Let's hear the therefore.
in us. That's the basic idea of ecopsychology.
We are a universe
Therefore,
inside
you
of the
can look at
universe.
the entire
Possibly.
world, all the phenomena of the world, as also psychic events, as ensouled. It seems evident that if the world is deteriorating and the soul is also in the world, then you are deteriorating and I am deteriorating. That it becomes inextricably connected. We have lived the insanity that we are
All that
disconnected,
would separate things.
that we can do what we want and the world can go its own merry ways, its own destructive ways, whatever ways. But this is
We'll go to Mars.
As I say, this is the backlash. We're beginning to realize it doesn't work that way. The Greeks knew this. The soul in Plato, for example, was something that we partook in. So whatever happened outside was happening inside. The microcosm, the macrocosm were so related that whatever you did to yourself, you were doing to the world. Whatever you're doing to the world, you were doing to yourself. In the sense that you were doing to the soul of the self and the soul of the world. But we lost the word souls, except in, cemeteries or churches on Sunday. We don't, oh, well, no, it came back. Fortunately, the word soul came back with soul music, soul food, soul brother, soul sister. So it came out of the
Came back
street
with
again.
Cornel West, is what you're saying?
Left the cemetery
Got
and
it.
came back through the streets.
Streets.
One of the most impressive moments of recent history was the flooding in New Orleans. It was the sense of enormous, unbelievable suffering of so many people who carried that flood. And I'm talking about the black people on the roofs, the black people crowded into the stadium, all those images we saw on TV, this incredible dignity and strength of soul that these people had in the face of neglect, contempt, confusion, never mind that side. We've had enough of the political aspects of that. I want to emphasize what we saw. We saw a people who have been suffering for 150 years at least in the United States, if not longer, much longer, who carried 5 days of neglect and natural torture, couldn't eat, couldn't drink, couldn't get out, with such beauty and such dignity that it made me think that all along, how have they had the strength of soul to support the lynchings from trees, the abuse in the bus stations, the fear that goes with just being alive in a white world? How did they do this? What is this strength of soul?
Well, what you're doing is you're plastering on reality, and in a way, you're taking away their singularness, right? Their individuality. Because some motherfuckers are fucking robbing shit because, hey, shit's going downhill, let me rob some shit. There's motherfuckers plotting out there. I'm sure there's murders committed that will never be, figured out because the floods washed over the fucking levees. Right? So, you gotta be, real about things. I know it sounds poetic, and it sounds pretty, it sounds nice, and it's very, oh, the strength and all this stuff, right? The strength and soul and all that stuff. Not everyone's doing that. That's just required for specialized. When it comes to soul, that shit is required. That is relegated to specialized motherfuckers who did some fucking work on themselves. And no, it has no race, has no creed, has no ethnicity, has no country. It has no jurisdiction. Shout the Batman. But if you take away negative things or hyper focus only on positive things, you're taking away their own volition. That's what makes people fucking slaves. Shout the Mad Hunter. Shout to him. Who views things through a certain prism, right? And thus enslaves himself and the people around, in his own psyche. He can't actually enslave anyone, but within their own psyche, when he thinks of a certain race, a certain whatever gender, whatever the fuck, he's enslaving them in his own psyche. And the thing I agreed with this guy about was, well, hey, when you do certain things internally within your own psyche, they have a way of playing out externally from yourself, reflective almost. And if you're unaware of that while you're doing your little diddling in your fucking psyche, you are in a way playing a role in fucking the world up. You dummies. Let alone the more woo-woo ideas of collective unconscious and you're dumping fucking toxins into the fucking waters that psyches are supposed to swim in. That's another woo-woo idea. Forgive me for that. I'll go back to the simple stuff. Yeah. That as simple as it gets, as practical as it gets. When you project whatever the fuck you want on someone else, guess what? In your own psyche, you're enslaving them. Let them be themselves. Let the wreckage happen naturally. Let the beautiful shit happen naturally. Appreciate them. According to this guy's own philosophy, right? Truly appreciate them. I appreciate this guy might pull a knife out on me right now. I appreciate that this guy will give me a handshake. I appreciate that this guy could be like in his own world, guy or gal. Sorry, women, men and women. I don't mean guy as in have a penis. Well, they could be trans and have a penis. Whatever. Be yourselves. It's the main point. And I will leave room. I will leave room in my psyche for them to be themselves, because I want to hear about the real them, not my version of them. That goes for every single one. I know I shit talk a lot, but I truly practice that in regards to every single being on planet Earth. If a rock hopped up and started talking one day, it wouldn't shock Jordan. Let's put it that way. I mean, it kind of would. I'd be like, what the fuck? Shout to everything everywhere all at once. Like, it's like googly eyes. It starts moving around. But at the same time, I leave room for that possibility. As crazy as it sounds, I leave room for the possibility. Although, right now, in my mind, unrealistic. I leave room for it. For the sake of the rocks, the dirt, the walls, other people to be themselves. That makes sense? I hope it makes sense. Either way, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, so soulful. Look at them hang out on rooftops, so soulful. I mean, it feels good to say. Maybe that feels good to say. But is that reality? Not sure about that one. I would have to like see each individual and talk to them like, oh, I think you're made of some shit. Got it. You're a legit motherfucker. Got it. You do got that soul power fucking working. Which is not relegated to black people, by the way, or the streets, as this guy calls it. It could be a motherfucking I chop trees down in the woods. It could be them, the guy he brought up in the first, like initially. It could be Paul fucking Bunyan in the woods. That motherfucker could have some soul fucking power. This is where Matt Hunter turns his brain off and hits fast forward. Nope, can't hear it, can't hear it, can't hear it, can't hear it, can't hear it. Yeah, it's called fragile psyches. But all right, here we go. Let's hit play.
And
it sounds
I
nice,
was
right? It
just
sounds
now
nice and
in Kentucky talking to Bell Hooks for 4 days about some of this. We're doing another film on this, so it interests me enormously. What is it that the blacks have that we need? Because if our
we have Michael
white
Jordan.
culture now
You need some of that, bro.
is beginning to go down demographically, the change of who's being born and immigration and the fact that in California there are now more people who are not white than are white being born, or whatever the statistics are. We know this white world is of there's a new miscegenation.
This video is gonna
going
piss Matt Hunter
on.
off.
And this is changing radically.
I'm here to watch him
We have to
lie
learn,
about my perspective.
if the world is going down, if we're on the Titanic, we have to learn how to survive
He's
with
gonna be
beauty
so tilted.
and dignity and strength of soul that they had at Katrina. We have to learn from them. The whole idea of integration has to change. It's not that we have to work, we white people, at integrating them, integrating the others, teaching them our English and all these things. We have to learn how to integrate from
What was that?
them.
You're a little muffled right there. I heard like white people. That's why. What you said?
I laughed when he said we white people, like, and that just, like, I don't know, that was kind of funny to me.
Mander's like, yeah, that's right.
Like, well, we have to do, we white people. Yeah.
One of us. That's right.
Well, I just wrote to Dubster. I'm like, generalizing robs you of experience. like, or robs you of reality and experience, right? Like, you just
I would think so.
don't know what's in front of you.
Well, it's like these things are yours, guys. The fucking world is an oyster, as they call it, right? It's all yours. Own it. Own it like it's yours. But maybe not in a commodifying way. maybe maybe a little, maybe tiny little smidget of that, but like in my opinion at least. But like own it as in like it's your experience, it's yours. Why would you give that away to someone else? So this guy could be giving all the compliments in the world to me, to YellBro, right? To me personally. Oh, YellBro's awesome. YellBro's amazing. YellBro's the best. He's the best he's better than the best. He can say all those things if he wants to, right? But if I don't, I would have to like, no. Well, I want to know the truth about me, not, feel the, whole grand nature of it all to buy into that. Like, no, I want it. Like, it's not fun. It's boring, actually. Me, at least, it's boring. Fun is like actually being me. When I move left, I'm moving left. When I move right, I'm moving right. It's not a fucking happenstance of chance. I'm fucking doing it. And there's only one way to fly, my friends. Here we go.
They know things we don't know. They know how to survive in adversity. They know how to maintain
Everyone does.
dignity,
Well, I'm not going to say
charity,
everyone does.
love, art.
We're all in the
music,
shit. Shout out to
body
Nas.
culture,
We're
all
all in the
kinds
shit.
of things. Movement, I'm talking about. They know things we don't know. We're ugly.
They know
We
the
don't
inside-out
as Dan
dribble
Green
to
said,
step
the
back
ugly
three-pointer.
American. We don't know
No one
how
else knows
ugly
that.
we are. And they are ways of learning there that's the lesson of Katrina for me, is a radical rethinking of integration. In terms of
Culturally,
strength
get your
of
hands on anything you
soul
can
and
that
the
you
ability
like.
to survive
Follow your
in
actual
real
bliss.
adversity.
Follow it.
Well, I have one more little piece on the ugliness.
Okay.
And that is, one day it occurred to me that the arrival of our troops in the Middle East,
Oh boy. Foreign policy.
where,
Here we go.
especially in the Shiite world, where poetry is so enormously important, and where over the loudspeakers in the bazaars in Persia, for example, in Iran, they recite poetry all the time, that the arrival of our troops, our chunky troops, with all our equipment and our shaved heads and bodies and the way they look, is
I've already
an
seen
aesthetic
Avatar, bro.
insult.
Come on.
There could be one of the causes of war is aesthetic insult. We are the ugly American arriving on the scene, and just our being
That's probably the
there,
perception of those
even
guys,
with
possibly.
goodwill and handing out money and doing with all our good intentions, can be insulting to a culture where something else is of more value than equipment. Our
Now hold on, because when it comes, like, he brings up the Middle East, right? Or anywhere that the U.S. goes on these excursions at, or whatever the fuck. I would think the people there, whether by kind of like a paranoid thesis, or a good guess, or actual documentation, I think they're aware that, like, hey, these guys are here because of bullshit reasons. They're here for bullshit reasons. And thus they have a disdain, most likely, for people showing up for bullshit reasons. Well, I mean, I'm sure some of the soldiers have been assholes. Some have been fucking genuinely nice to people, right? I'm sure both those things exist, but they can see the overall dark cloud hanging over the sky of, like, why the fuck are you here? This is not for freedom, not for freedom of us, not to help us. It's something hanging over your heads that you idiots don't fucking realize. Right? I have to believe that. And on a spectrum of behavior, when someone observes that, I would think that you'd see what you'd see. Some are saying, grab some guns and go fuck them up. Some may preemptively. Like, yo, fuck these guys. These guys are the traitors of the world. Fuck these guys. They're trash. Let's go fucking kill them. Or, hey, they're invading our lands. Let's go fucking kill them. Or, hey, this is self-defense. Let's stop them by killing them. Hey, I want nothing to do with this. Let me grab my family and find somewhere to hide. Hey, let's leave the country. Let's flee. Like, there's the whole spectrum of human behaviors in regards to that shit. once again, a lot more complex as far as like different expressions of behavior versus like, we show up with our machines and that's it. Like, it's a little bit more to that. Even the U.S. soldiers themselves showing up at these places, there's a whole spectrum to it. Some are saying democracy. Some are gun ho for just like, I just want to kill some people that no one cares about. Some know what's going on. Like, yeah, listen, we need to take these lands for their fucking resources or whatever the fuck. Some are, like I said, genuinely like, hey, I'm here to save people. Or some are defensive, like, hey, we're here to protect our country because you guys will attack us if we don't leave you alone. On and on and on and so forth it goes. The whole spectrum is typically represented. And what I get usually upset about, especially in the world of politics, is that people are not checking for that spectrum, right? They're not looking around like, hey, you're in the same lane that I'm at. Like, let's say it's a content creator or whoever. Like, you're in my same world, kinda. And you seem to be like on this side of the spectrum. Let's say it could be greed, right? Where it's like a greedy thing. Like, hey, I'm over like if the guys who just want to go over and kill people, make a career out of it. Like, hey, I killed 50 sniper shots. I killed 50 fucking terrorists. I'm gonna write a book about it, right? Or tell my story on a podcast somewhere. It could be like a greedy aspect. Like, you have to be aware of that. But if you ignore it, expect the wound to fester. Expect it to fester out of control, become fucking, septic or some shit like that, or infections, and then expect this simpleton dumb fuck who's not a healer, doesn't know how to heal, just cut the fucking limb off. Expect that to happen. And then one day they will replace that wound with their own fucking wound, and become the limb that's cut off itself. On repeat seems to happen. On repeat. Kind of went kind of added away there. Whatever. Shut up. My show. Here we go.
Muscular grunts are not enough in a culture that is deeply connected to language and rhetoric and poetry and imagination.
Some of those guys sell heroin too.
In other words, why is it
I hope he realizes
that we don't, well, not why is it, but we use the word for denial.
Look at
we
Jordan
use the word denial for explaining
the dark people. Look at him protect them.
that we're paying no attention to what's going on.
Like things are falling
Cut the manager.
Things are falling apart,
Idiot.
and we play football.
Exactly.
So, the current term
They don't play real football.
for what's wrong with the American public in regard to the world falling apart, in regard to the political
Their problem is everyone else's
corruption
fucking
and
problem. It's
so
the same
is
thing,
denial.
in my humble
We're in
opinion.
denial. Now, denial is a term that came out of Freudian psychoanalysis. It's one of the 8 defense mechanisms. That means we repress what we find unpleasant, that we can't accept in consciousness. We repress.
That we don't
deny
want to
its
see about
existence.
ourselves, typically.
But I think denial
Typically
was
that.
not just discovered, by Freud. I think that the American habit
Not discovered.
of not wanting to know about what's unpleasant,
Just putting
or
terms to things that we already
simply
experienced.
being able to exclude from consciousness anything at all, is to protect the American mind and keep it innocent. Innocence is the real root of our difficulty. Mark Twain wrote a book about innocence. Henry James's novels have American innocence over in Europe. Daisy Miller and others who don't know anything and who are just not just unsophisticated, but whose virtue is their childlikeness. That's what's so great about the American. We're the young country, and even as we grow old, we have no mentor. They're not mentors because they don't have anything to teach anybody. They're still as innocent as they were when they were 16. One of the statistics that'll horrify anybody is that they have asked a large population in America, at what age would you like to be all your life? And a large percentage, the largest
25
group of men wanted to be between 16 and 20.
What?
Some men wanted to be.
What? Dude, 25, obviously. It's for sure the best, right? Am I tripping?
22 to 24, probably. Yeah.
Like 25 is my like. I mean, I've been in my at least my opinion of things. I've been in my psychological prime or like maturity prime. At 25, I was there already personally, and athletically, physically. Oh my god, I'm a fucking animal. Yes, 25. I'm going with 25 for the best age.
I mean, the years that he's referring to, those teen years, there's definitely a lot of development, but you're dependent. There's a sense of freedom, but you're also dependent. So you can't do things like freedom from like responsibility.
Oh,
But
okay.
so you don't
But
have
I
to.
like responsibility though. That's fun.
Yeah, yeah. There's different phases, right? Like that's like just before you have to like man up and do your things, right?
Well, it's
It's
like
like you're still kind of a baby.
yeah.
You're you're not actually responsible for anything yet.
Well, like 16's like what I get from that is like okay, you're learning things. That's why it's fun, right? You're learning things about whatever social things, girls, drinking, drugs, whatever something like that, right? Where you're like kind of an adult, but you're like you said, without social responsibility yet, kind of. I get that, but like I don't know when you have your shit together, that responsibility is kind of fun. I don't know. So, and also just for me personally, physically, I'm like, "Hey, what's up? What's up, bitch? What's up? Huh? I mean, I still do that now, but you know what I'm saying? At 25, you're like, it's like you have those life lessons, but you're also physically able to, I don't know, export those lessons a little bit. I don't know. I'm going with 25 though, for me personally. I'm sure it's different ages for different people, but I really like 25. I like it. Anyways, let's continue. 16 to the fucking. Who said 16? What dude said 16? Finger banging girls or something like that? Like, is that his prime of life? Okay. All right, here we go.
Younger than 16, and some men wanted to be 3 or 4 for their entire life.
Oh, that's crazy.
When they
Oh,
asked
that's
women,
fucking crazy.
women wanted to be a little bit older, maybe 18 to 21.
And they're still there.
Is not denial.
Those are girls
That's
thinking about
a
looks.
cult
Like,
of
I look
innocence.
good.
Staying in high school for your entire life.
No.
So
I'm running away
love,
from high school.
dating,
Fuck that shit.
sex,
Boring.
abortions, problems
That shit's boring as fuck.
pleasure, food, eating. The whole thing is part of staying in high school your entire life.
Who the hell did they survey? Maybe they surveyed high school kids.
The cult of innocence.
Maybe they surveyed
really
celebrities because they're like kind of
this-
in high school, right? They're in cliques and groups and clubs and right, and they're the cool kids in class, right? Everyone's looking at them in the class, right? Or athletes too, right? They're the jocks of the classroom, and they may mix over with the cheerleader or whatever the fuck, right? Stereotypical, high school thingy. I guess. I don't know.
Today I saw this like, meme thing or trend about people who peaked in high school
Oh shit.
and went downhill from there.
Oh fuck. I was in danger of being one of those guys, but luckily I started thinking. I mean, I was always an introvert, but then I was like, to me, like real thinking, being introverted is not good enough. I get it, but it's not good enough. You gotta there's deeper thoughts than just talking there's jibber jabbering inside your own psyche. There's more than that. There's jibber jabbering with a fucking purpose. All right. So that's why I wouldn't go with high school at all. I'd go with 25. But all right, here we go.
Strength of America. It keeps us, this young country, always on the go,
I've never heard
always
this
ready
from,
for change, always out
psychological
there
guys.
getting new stuff.
Interesting.
That's part of high school,
Weird.
is to get new stuff, and you envy other people's stuff, and you move in a group, and peer opinion is more important than a teacher's opinion. Very important, that one. So how are you going to get a mentor or learn anything? Because you're not supposed to. You're supposed to stay young
Those
and
were
fresh
the
and
best
get those
days
bumps
of
taken
my
out of your
life.
skin and out of your breasts and out of your butt and keep as youthful as possible. But it isn't only the cult
Summer
of youth.
of
It's the cult of
69.
innocence, not knowing. Me, I don't know. I don't know how this happened. That's not my bit. I don't know. That's the big thing. I don't know. And I don't want to know. I want to stay willfully
Oh, no,
ignorant.
that's not.
And behind that, I'm afraid to say, I believe, is the worship of the Christ child. You know, the idea of you're not supposed to know. The Catholics were taught not
That's
to
boring.
read the Bible. They should follow the dogma and the priest. The Protestants were taught
That's not
to
fun,
read the
though.
Bible, but to connect to God directly. And God loved them directly. So you didn't need to know anything in between you and God. So you've got this sense that innocence is holiness. Innocence is virtue. The less worldly you are, the less street smarts you are, the less complicated you are, the more virtuous.
That's
God
not true.
will love the simple. And a little
Isn't that kind of what Sippy Cup Nick was kind of saying in regards to the priesthood? But there was a little bit more like willpower to it. At the same time, it's like willful celibacy is essentially saying, well, have you tried it? Right? Is like kind of the question that's there. Like, how do you know it's so bad unless you tried, right? Which is pause, first off. Second off, it's dumb guy logic for like it's simplicity, essentially. Like, how do you know unless you tried it? Now, if they're a savage, if they're like Neo, it's like I don't need to do bad things to find out if bad is bad. Right? It's not me. I choose to do this because I'm me. That's a little bit different, but how many of these guys are actually equipped with that idea? And you could take that out of the priesthood and just go around the entire planet, around the entire universe. How many are sure of that? How many? And I'm gonna think it's quite a small percentage because it can't be taught. It can't be told to by someone else. That has to be experienced, in my humble opinion. But yeah, all right, here we go.
little child shall lead
Sweet
them.
nothings, don't worry
There's
about it.
quotations
Sweet
in the
nothings.
Bible that
Sit
are
down.
The New
Don't worry
Testament
about it.
and the Old Testament too, but particularly the New Testament are horrible. They are to keep you stupid.
I disagree.
There's all kinds
I
of
kinda
healing,
disagree.
You know, there's some healing requires the patient to die first in symbolic sense. Maybe the only healing is radical shock. Maybe the healing is very gradual, where the wound moves step by step and getting a little smaller every day, a little less painful every day, a little less deep every day. That's another kind of healing. I see. Well, the healing of our consciousness probably takes what we've noticed again and again in our public press, that is, wake up. And that's what Socrates said and the Buddha says and so on, to awaken. Have you noticed how often the press says it's another wake-up
So
call?
does the Christ figure
We
in
keep having
certain
a
texts.
wake-up call.
But
That's what 9/11 was a wake-up call, for God's sake. It takes that to wake us up. You know, you have to blast
it didn't
the
work.
Twin Towers to wake us up, and that didn't do it.
Exactly.
Didn't do it. Paul Revere ran around trying to wake people up. That's one of the early myths of America. Wake up, wake up, wake up. The British are coming. Doesn't matter who's coming, what's coming. We don't wake up. So we're committed to staying asleep or staying in Plato's cave or staying innocent. So healing is not something very...
Now, that's very interesting. Very interesting. The idea of maintaining innocence by being like, throw your hands up. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what was happening. I don't know. I don't know anything. Like, you didn't believe anything in those little moments when this thing happened in front of you. There's nothing happening there. You're just like fucking gobstruck, huh? And that's what I mean by like IQ tests with certain things. That's basically what I mean. Like to a degree, I'm not gonna like. I try to like throw the guy as like him representing anything I'm saying. I'm just saying the kind of the what it seems to sound like in English language at least. Like, oh, like yeah, that's like an IQ test. Like, hey, if this happens, are you now gonna continue on this pattern of behavior? Will you allow yourself to be tricked again? If I take this scenario and replace this Gazan family with your family, you feel differently about it. Okay, what does that say about yourself? Right, on and so forth. These little IQ tests of life. That's why I say things like that, because it's like some things are so blatant. How the fuck are you like how do you turn your brain off for this one? How is this a them thing all of a sudden? And it's like it's once again, sorry, forgive me. Shout out to the Dark Knight, where the Joker's like, you know, I'm tired of you guys being outside observers. It's time to like bring you guys into the game. Expose Batman, or I start killing people. Now you're in the game. Now you're in the moral game now. Survival? Or your little character that's make-believe that society made for you, as the Joker might say, right? This little world, these morals that are make-believe, according to the Joker, because the world gave them to you. Now I'm going to put it in question, and none of you are fucking escaping it. You're all stuck with the question. What do you do about it? You scream and clamor? Do you fucking, what's the word? Compromise? All of a sudden, these morals that you hold so dearly are all of a sudden gone now because I threatened one little mare? Or your life? Or your parents' life? All of a sudden, your morals go out the fucking window. It's make-believe. That is the Joker in the Dark Knight. In my opinion, the greatest film when it comes to moral philosophy, because it's the concepts are skin in the game shit. It's not highfalutin academic philosophy. It's in your face. Like, hey, if you're in this scenario, what do? You haven't thought about it? Okay, let's put you in there then. Let's throw you in there right now. Let's put you in that scenario. But you ran away screaming and wailing. So those little bravado things you did right there, those were make-believe, weren't they? Those were made up. But the same scenario happened to someone over there. A truck full of soldiers, a car full of fucking gangbangers. You didn't fucking make a peep about it, did you? It's normal to you, isn't it? That is the genius of the Dark Knight right there. That motherfuckers don't seem to recognize somehow. I don't know how, but they don't see it somehow. And that is skin in the game philosophy. What's that movie? Waking Life, right? Shout out to Richard Linklater. One of my favorite fucking creators and directors. There's a scene in the movie where the guy, I guess, is quoting philosopher saying, like, well, I had these ideas, but I didn't really live life until I got hit by a fucking car. Now it's real. It's not make-believe. It's not theorems and scraps of paper where I'm writing things down. It's actually applied to life itself, my experience itself. Thus, you have the reflective nature and the feedback of reality. What are you made of? Do these philosophies hold up? Guess what? Bob can't go test that for you because you can't see inside Bob's fucking mind and see what the fuck he's doing and how he got here. You can see yourself. You can see how you got here if you want to. And thus, that's where the actual philosophy is actually tested. On you. Yourself. Duh. Let's continue.
Goes cave or staying innocent. So healing is not something very easy. It may take catastrophe. It may take that idea that
I brought that up before as well.
Monkeys.
Okay.
It may take an enormous amount of change before
500 monkeys
that
implies
awakening. Maybe it is actually
that implies
happening.
chance.
Maybe
so
there is an awakening going on in small
else,
places by individual people all over I'm thinking now of the United States, but all over doing small, maybe the healing's already going on in the sense that there is a waking up in many people in tiny places in regard to all kinds of things, whether it's what they're doing with their recycling, to what they're doing with animals, what they're doing with their own gardens, what the campaigns that they enter politically. There's so much change of that kind that I think that kind of
Critical
change
called?
of consciousness is
Critical
happening.
something.
There is a waking up. Now, but now there could be a change of consciousness, but let's watch out that we start hoping. Hope doesn't do it. Hope, the thing, hope.
Trust that fucking
Do not
plan.
hope
Trust
for
me.
hope, so on
Just
and
the
so forth.
plan.
Both St. Paul talks about watch out for hope. T.S. Eliot picks it up again in 4 quartets, watch out for hope. Why? You know the story, the myth, the Greek myth about hope? It's well worth knowing. Pandora had a little box, right? And in this box or jar or something were all the evils of the world, and the lid was on there real tight, and then she was curious, so she lifted the lid up and they flew out. And you see Greek images of this in their paintings. And these little bits of hope or little bits of evil are flying all over the world. So you find evil everywhere, different kinds of evil. But at the last minute, she clapped the lid back on and trapped the last evil left, and that was called Elpis, or hope. Not Elvis, Elpis, hope.
Elvis?
So
What?
hope is inside, not out there, and it's one of the evils. And why is hope an evil? It's because it projects you forward and takes you away from what is. You keep thinking, well, it's getting better. Well, it's not getting better. Well, it's so-and-so. Well, it's they'll do it. I can
That's
see a
hope,
new
yeah,
dawn
right.
coming. No, if you live in that new
According to Charmed, hope puts Pandora's box, it closes it. It's all the tragedy and demons and whatever the fuck it is back in the box. But hope does. According to Charmed. All right, here we go.
dawn coming, you miss what's actually in front of you and what has to happen. And I
TV show
know that
Charmed.
from being a psychoanalyst for so many years. You don't talk about whether it's getting better or not getting better, or where it's going, or what this dream might mean in the future, and our addiction to the future in the United States. We have a real addiction to
In the United States,
futurology.
people
It's
do
much
that all
more
over the fucking
being
place, dude.
attentive to what really is right now. And you work on that, and you don't need any hope. You're just working on it.
Negative impact. What is your opinion of the car? Its negative impact
Okay.
environmentally.
You know, about cars, because I like to call them automobiles, and I'll tell you why I call them automobiles. It's not
Somewhere in standard, okay?
the
It's not
negative
auto.
impact and how we have to fix the highways or set up more public transportation. I agree with all those plans. And the car problem is being resolved partly by hybrids and diesels and so on and so forth. That isn't the thing. The thing is, what's the psychological push in the American soul that wants its car?
Psyche and
Well,
the
what is
soul.
it to have the wheel in your hand? Just start with that. What is the wheel? The wheel is fate,
okay.
destiny. One of the greatest symbols ever is holding the wheel in your own hands. That's number one. Number two, what is an automobile? It means a self-moving, automobile, a self-mover. That is the earliest first definition in Christian thought.
Yeah,
of
you're
God.
sharp. You
God
probably
is
shouldn't
a
ram it into a
self-mover.
cop. Might get you shot in the face.
Oh, wow. Okay.
From Aristotle to St.
I
Thomas.
thought I was going to actually say
When
something
you
there
hold the
of
wheel in
interest,
your
but I guess
hands,
not.
you are God.
Bro is just locked and ready to go every time.
And you are
Shit
a
like that.
God in the old sense of
Oh, there's a
having
time I can say it.
huge horsepower under your foot. So you're Phaethon in his chariot, you're riding Pegasus.
He's been waiting
This
for the
is
past
what
3
it
hours
is
for
to
that.
sit behind the wheel, hold the wheel in your hand, and get
2
started.
hours, 44
The
minutes.
starter. Just think of that word starter, what that means. Ignition. Think what that word means. The
Means R.
car
Kelly,
is much more
and he
than a
remixed it,
problem.
okay?
It is a deep
Remix Ignition.
piece of the American psyche And
I
it
think
was a-
I can
it was a symbol
fly.
of huge
That's the wrong song.
significance.
I think
To
I can
get
touch
people
the
out
fucking
of their
sky.
car,
It's also the
even
wrong
if
Well,
lyrics.
Michael
it's
Jordan
difficult.
from
Even if
1996.
when you're in the
Shut up.
carpool, you're a passenger. You don't have the wheel in your hand.
As
And
a remix to
are
ignition.
tied to the word
hot and
passive
fresh out of the
and a whole lot of
kitchen.
other things.
I'm
You're taken for a
alright.
ride. It's completely
I
different
want to
thing
piss
to be
on
a
you
passenger
remix.
in a carpool
Jesus
than it is
Christ.
to be have that car in your that and there are 300 and something like
I'm gonna
67
pee on you.
varieties of American cars. Whether they sell or not isn't the point. But can you imagine that?
Is he still in
notion of
jail or did they
choice?
let him out?
Each one of those
I think he's in
offers
jail,
me
man.
my chance to be
Doing
as
solos
close
for
Oh,
to
fun.
God
man.
as I'll ever get.
He got
having
double
that
Epstein
wheel in my
time.
hands.
That's weird.
I like the idea
I don't
of
know, man.
future generations. I don't like the idea of future. I like thinking in terms of the biblical unto the seventh generation.
Epstein got out.
That ties one much more
Technically,
closely
yes.
to the
He
earth
made it out.
and what happens to the earth. What you're doing in regard to the earth so that it persists
Escape
into
society,
the seventh
man.
generation. And it's
Or got
farther
pushed out of
removed
reality,
from
out of
thinking
society.
about the future, which tends to be an abstract intellectual thing, whereas the next generation and the next generation involves burials, or it involves the sense of a generation dying and the next one coming on. So thoughts of what I would like the generations to come to think about is the generations to come, that they keep on thinking of continuity.
Pause.
They think about maintenance. They think about long-term things. They think about, and they act in terms
Think
of
about what it means to be
long-term
healthy.
things. And that's the seventh generation. And that they remember
about
some
that?
of the warnings, such as unto the seventh generation, a sin or a mistake or a crime has consequences for a long term. That
They
is
do.
neither future thinking nor long-term thinking. It's thinking very practically in terms of a move. You make a move that the consequences of it are thought about in regard to the generations to come.
The intention is more so thought about. Why am I doing what I'm doing?
One of my difficulties
Yeah.
with therapy is that it has internalized
As the simpleton idea, like, hey, a baby in a fire, I go into the building and save the baby. The baby becomes Hitler, right? But the most important thing in those scenarios for a righteous thinking person is their intention. Like, why are you doing it? Right? Like, oh my God, innocent's going to be killed by fire. I don't want that to happen. But if they start thinking about, like, well, what if they're Hitler? Now, the savage will be like, I don't give a fuck. I see what I see right now in front of my face. I'm going to help this baby out. That's for savages. Or someone like, well, look at his parents, look at his background. He might become Hitler. Maybe I'll let him die. As in, if they have like a future context, as in they had like a time traveling machine, right? There is no scenario where the righteous person doesn't save the fucking baby. In my humble opinion.
Maybe you saving that baby changed Hitler's mind.
Maybe. Let's continue. Here we go.
some of the most basic emotions.
I'd save baby
like
Hitler and adopt him.
rage and
Yeah, you'd
and
make him into
fear.
Hitler. You little
You know, you
fuckface.
couldn't live a day if you didn't
You'd
have
make him
fear,
into something
because
worse,
you couldn't cross
probably.
the street. You'd miss the. But therapy calls fear or internalizes it, and it becomes anxiety.
I want
And
you to become
anxiety has
Hitler,
no
but
object. So fear
in
is
Call of
essential
Duty,
for recognizing what there is in the world to
becomes
be
the best
afraid
gamer
of,
of all time.
whether it's political or from the cops or from criminals or from decay of our social structures or our environmental structures. There are things to be afraid of, and you should be afraid. If you're not afraid, and if it's called anxiety, you think there's something wrong with you. I'm anxious. But I'm not anxious. I'm actually afraid of what the government could do. I'm afraid of the trees dying. This makes me afraid. And that is taking the emotion out from inside and as anxiety and placing it in its concrete reaction to the world. It's very similar to the one of rage. You know, what is this rage I feel over so much that happens? Well, if I take it to my therapist and we talk about it as, you know, I'm hostile, I'm angry,
You're Holden
whatever
Caulfield.
happened to me in the past, I have a lot of emotion that so. But maybe the rage is outrage.
You don't have a people shooting
Maybe
hat, bro.
it wants to be out. Maybe it is a political reaction to the world, to what's going on. Aristotle said a very famous sentence, man is by nature a political animal. Now, we look in therapy at a person and say, he's a sexual animal, or he's a relational animal, or whatever, and that work we go at.
Very
But do we
academic.
go at his being a political animal, and that part of his instinctual life is political? And if that instinctual life isn't paid attention to, he can be disordered. You've got to be political.
Maybe social is a better word.
Full animal being. And
I
to
think
be
something
a full
precedes
animal
even
being
that.
means you have to know when you're afraid of the government or of whatever, and you have to know very well when you are furious, when you are angry.
Look
when
through
you
your
are
own eyes, but in
enraged.
silence.
Not because you're
I mean,
a
like,
hostile person or a
in your mind,
paranoid
silent.
person or all those other
Now tell me how political it is.
explanations of what's wrong with the soul inside the body.
You have
but
to agree that
because
comes first,
the
right,
soul
before the
inside
politics.
the body is
Observing happens
connected
first, right?
to the world and finds
Even
true
observation
objects to
has
be enraged about and to be
definitions, taglines, memes almost, right? So like look at like use your eyes. Even that's secondary, right? Because they would say the brain is even more primary than the eyes themselves, right? Because your brain might filter a reality for your eyes to focus on something, right? It's like, well, tell me where the politics are at. It's not there, is it? It's there, but it's not there. And thus,
It's something we constructed for show.
the observer is there before anything else happens to be there, seemingly, right?
Yeah, I don't think politics
Who or what is the observer?
exists, and you know, it's a way people relate to each other, to like kind of outdo them. I don't think it's really us. It's one of the behaviors between people.
Sure. There's a beaver blocking the dam. How do we get this beaver out of here? Right? It requires beaver. It requires dam or river. It requires a whole bunch of definitions that took time to develop, and time for words to symbolize those things, and on and so forth. Versus you just looking at something with no jibber jabber in your fucking mind as you're doing it. And it's like, well, where's politics at? I call it a little brother, like little cousin of other concepts that we already
I guess the
conceptualized.
root of politics is like a Greek word, polis meaning city, and then polites is citizens.
Okay. So
Um,
sociological. Okay.
so it's like it has to do with like the making of the city and stuff. It's not necessarily like set in nature or whatever. It's like something that it's a man-made construct.
Which is nature itself. I agree with that. Or I believe that.
Yeah, and everything we make is nature, but like it's separate from just what's like the earth provides,
Well,
or the universe provides.
there's things that can snatch you out of political thinking very quickly.
Like before like before like the civilization was made, there was no like politics or city or citizen. So it's just like, yeah.
Well, it's like if you're on your way to a political rally, right? Then 10 tigers just pop up out of nowhere, right? That
They're
was
Japanese, or they're fucking Chinese, obviously.
it's like, oh fuck, right? The politics disappears completely, disappears. So like, what is the visceral thing about people? What is that thing? Because that'll give you, if you can diagnose what's going on, that should give you the answer for like, how do you fix the kind of the, maybe not external but externalized nature of behavior, because it's spurred from that, from those moments, right? From there, you know, they'll probably hold rallies, or sorry, not hold rallies, but hold like council. Like, what do we do about these fucking tigers, bro? Killing people, right? The whole thing will happen, right? From technology to politics itself. Like, no, we should just kill them. Someone's like, no, don't just kill them. They're just being tigers, bro. They're just naturally being. You know what I'm saying? Like, there'll be like arguments, debates about it, right? You can see where it spurs from the initial thing itself. But either way, still interesting conversation we watched. I disagree with quite a bit from this guy. What's his name? John Hammond? James Hillman. My bad. Jesus Christ. Only beauty can save the world. I was hoping for a little bit more, but I don't think I got that personally. But I got to run my mouth, so it all works out for YellBro, I guess. So either way,
I want to
good.
dedicate this stream to my late great brother.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And forgive me for saying, but everyone and everything is beautiful in my world. Even the nasty things. There's something there for all of us, honestly. But we're not magic school bus, so no lessons, okay? Fuck off. There's your video. Please subscribe if you feel like. Comment. Agree, disagree. Say what you think. There's a lot of ideas here. So I think it's less about agreeing or disagreeing. Just I think it's more so about like your thoughts about the world or ideas of things. So please let that be known. And yes, I do read the comments when people say them. So please let it be known. And other people do too, by the way. It's not just me. Other people in this Discord, they look at the messages or comments and videos and they look over them. So please let it be known.
It's a good thing you're the only one I fear, because the rest of them are fucking weak.
Okay. Don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Also, please check out the Discord link if you want to join that. All opinions are welcome. And if you have this kind of philosophical, psychological, woo-woo ideas of the world, maybe that's different or the same or what the fuck, like please recommend videos or recommend your own ideas. Let it be known. It's all welcome. Don't forget the links, everything I showed you, the Rodney Mullen video, this video, the James Hillman video, they will all be linked for you to look at on your own without us jibber-jabbering. Well, okay, without me jibber-jabbering, without me pausing the videos and talking so much. You can go watch on your own for your own like ideas and insights and reflections and all that stuff, right? Feedback. So please take advantage of that. Most importantly,
And if you're still listening, use promo code Jordan to get your chance at Bluetooth.
if you want free creatine, hit the QR code. No, there's no QR code. There never will be. Sorry. Actually, Pepsi, listen. If you want a QR code for fuckpepsi.com, please hit the QR code. Send me a QR code. We'll make it happen. But yeah. Please, most importantly, give this video a thumbs down. Wee woo, wee woo. Shut up. Wee woo, wee woo.